I heard some ATM in there. That's very good. All right, well, thank you very much, my friends. Thank you. We will throw it back to the panel. Please give it up for our boy, Ori and Esther.
That is right. They have secured their placement in a grand final best of 5. And I was racking my brain. I was like, oh, gee, when did that happen? It didn't happen in this tournament, not in the group stage and not in the bracket quite yet. It was all the way back in the Arlington Major, in that bracket, where Aster proved superior. They already beat OG in that lower bracket quarterfinal, semifinal, and eliminated them. And clearly, they are not satisfied with just one elimination. They want to take OG down again, but they want to do it in the grand finals. They want a full best of 5. As we welcome a new panel, I unfortunately said too many mean things to Moon Meander and Saberlight. They had to leave, and to bring some more kind souls here. Effie and Adam, welcome to the panel. Any closing thoughts from this series, Adam?
I think Aster just kind of out-strategized them both games. They had Mars to protect their PA. Like Secret had 2 bans, and instead they had this TB, which is a counter pick to the PA, right? But this Mars just totally negated the TB. Like he couldn't participate in the game for like the first 20-25 minutes. And when he finally could come online, like Aster had already punished them for like what he talked about, like resources on the map and towers, and like abusing their fighting strength early on.
And can I just say, if Aster had a mental block before Arlington, it is definitely gone now. I really think that Aster have just become TI Grand Finalist contenders at this point. Ori had such an incredible series. I mean, the way that he played that last game with the Mars, and of course making space for the Monet, everything about it was so impressive. I mean, my favorite thing about it all, I guess, was just taking that Roche, knowing that the Enigma had no BKB, that he wasn't going to walk in, that it was just free for them, and you know, I love the confidence by Aster.
Yeah, they've improved a lot. I can't say I'm too surprised to see them in the finals. I thought Secret were going to look stronger today against them, but more so than Secret failing today, I think Aster just kicked it up, stepped it up a notch, and really brought their A game. So, you know, they still have a best of 5 ahead of them to get the championship, but they get some time to see the other teams and prepare some extra stuff. But really impressed with how they adapted on the fly in the strategy. And in this game, they gave Secret their best 1-2, right? They gave them Tusk Enigma, and they beat it. That's got to be a really big confidence boost going into the finals tomorrow.
Yeah, that was the strong opening that Secret used to defeat OG. And now if OG are looking to get that rematch yet again, they're going to have to make their way through FNATIC. But seems that most of these teams that are remaining are going to have to keep their eyeballs on Aster. And I'm actually surprised, Effie, as a LGD fangirl, you're willing to say Aster's already grand final capability? You think it's going to be a China? Contender.
Contender.
Okay.
Of course, they look great. I mean, Aster have always performed so well within their region and have looked like a solid team. They give the best Chinese teams a run for their money every time. The issue was they could never translate it to an international stage. But if this is what they look like now, and they have the number on teams like LGD, I mean, who knows what could happen?
Yeah, nothing stopping them at that point, especially when they're going to be doing a TI in this region come Singapore. They're getting that momentum here in Malaysia. And it's been, we will have to give an MVP, as that is tradition, Adam, but this was a concerted effort from all 5 members of the team.
I feel like the most amazing thing about Team Aster is that all 5 players, they look so good together. And I think the teams where players don't stand out when they win, like their game looks so good, but all in all, as a 5-man unit, they look good together.
But it's always hard to not give the MVP to the person who gets the rampage. It's very biased around here. We see big red letters and we're like, ooh, that seems good. So let's give it to Monet. Let's give it to that Phantom Assassin, which was a very, very clutch pick. Obviously, Cinderin was enabled by the Mars like we had seen in the draft. The arena, the bulwark, really makes life a lot easier for a Phantom Assassin, but he still pushed it to the limits.
Yeah, I loved his killer instinct in these fights, right? As soon as Aster get a slight advantage in the fight, Monet just full-on commits and finds bonus kills all over the place. So he kept chasing them down really well. I would say, I feel like I'm doing this a lot where I'm like, I want to give a second MVP, so I'm going to do that again. I think XXS was my standout player for this game. I think he did an incredible job on Mars. And then even, as you mentioned, maybe an honorable mention to Ori as well, which kind of ties into what Adam said. You know, if they're all playing so well that we have a hard time choosing an MVP, that's a really good sign, right? There's no like truly standout performer in this team. Everybody just did a really good job in this game. And yeah, I'm calling me impressed, you know?
Yeah, and this was also, if we can also show some love to the supports, this was the first phase Winter Wyvern from Pichu, and he was very, very satisfied with his result. but it's all here for the carry. 63% kill participation, racking up the damage numbers, and now looking forward to a potential grand final against OG. Were you surprised, Effie, that he chose OG out of the FNATIC, OG, and Secret teams that are still remaining?
Not at all. I think OG have been consistently a top team since their conception, basically, and every team that goes up against them says that they just face this pressure of the tri-core creeping up on them. So, I'm not surprised at all. Secret played an incredible tournament, but they're still a fresh roster, and maybe they learned a little bit of kinks that they have to iron out before TI qualifiers. But this version of Secret has so much potential to be so much more within a month or two.
Yeah, of the teams that are remaining in the Western European TI quals, Secret is the one that has made it the furthest. OG, they're already locked and loaded, so Secret getting this LAN experience, getting their experience in Riyadh with the testing ground for Rezo and Zayats, it is proving to be a successful combination. Adam, if you had to say which opponent would give them a harder time between FNATIC and OG in that lower bracket final, which one do you think Secret would prefer?
Probably Fnatic, right? Like they haven't looked as solid as OG, I would say. Like OG's been bumpy since the patch hit. I think they were better than Secret before a few days ago. Right now they look like they're still trying to figure out things, where Secret seems, at least maybe not in today's games, but they looked a bit more stable. And Esther looked like there was no patch, honestly.
Yeah, right.
They actually look the same. I would say Fnatic is like the dark horse right now.
Okay.
And it is a C tournament, C team,
C crowd as well, rooting for Fnatic.
Also, not to forget, DJ on LAN.
Of course, DJ on LAN, give him the Nyx Assassin again, which we are maybe getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Secret, of course, they will have a day left to figure things out. But right now, OG, they need to go up against Fnatic. They need to resolve who's going to be facing off against Team Secret. They got their momentum with the win against Thunder Awaken earlier today, and Fnatic has been waiting, Synderen. What do you think that they've learned against OG in that Thunder Awaken series?
I think, so first of all, obviously Thunder Awaken were able to, challenge OG quite a lot, and it was a very close series that I think Thunder could have definitely won as well, so they definitely, they bleed. They already bled, they're in the lower bracket, right?
Yeah.
But even down here, OG, I think, don't look their strongest right now. Against Fnatic, I think OG showed a bit more of their hand in terms of draft, and we know Fnatic play quite a few heroes that other teams haven't played as much. They played the Nyx like we talked about, they prioritized the Undying, so hopefully for them, a little bit more tape since OG had to go to 3 games will inspire them to get a bit of a draft advantage. To be honest, I think they might need a little bit of a drafting edge. I think OG's execution on average is better than Fnatic's, but it's not by such a huge margin that this is not going to be close at all.
Especially, Effie, now that we've seen these Huskars come out time and time again to success in ATF's hero pool, it's not that simple to just ban out, okay, I got rid of Timbersaw and Viper, I got rid of Razor and Mars, you're taken care of. He's growing his pool.
Huskar was always his pool, though. But
was it always viable, though? Because I feel like he always liked it, but now it's a force to be reckoned with.
I mean, obviously with the nerfs to things like Viper and Razor, you can start looking at Huskar instead for a hero that gives you lane pressure and map pressure later on because you get items and scale and whatnot. So I can see how ATF wants to force that into this meta for himself. But I do think that Huskar is a little bit easier to address within drafts than potentially the old version of Razor like 5 days ago. So I think teams will have something prepared.
All right, well, let's see what they have prepared. But if you're here in the arena, I've got some tasks for you. If you want to walk around, if you want to, get some of the Genting Highlands experience, then take a trip all the way over to the Madison Square. We've got Cap and SVG doing an AMA right now, so step over there. But if you want to sit in your place and you're waiting for the Dota, I've got something else for you. We've got a cosplay fashion show going on right now, so stick around and we'll be right back.
Get ready for the DHL drop. Grab yourself a DHL drop sign and customize it with your message. Make sure we spot you in the crowd, because if you're lucky, one of our special deliveries is coming your way. And for all of you watching at home, type DHL drop in the Twitch chat for a chance to win a €150 gift voucher.
Welcome to the cosplay event here, my friend. I am here with Yavo Plus. They love you out there. Are you guys ready to see some cosplay action? Now, I've been in this business a long time, my friend. I've seen a lot of cosplays from around the world, but there is something different about the Southeast Asian cosplayers. They are some of the best in the entire world.
Yes, the low-budget cosplaying is an art here.
Yes.
You know, everyone's seen the Shadow Shaman, everyone's seen the picture that popped up once a week on Reddit, but these are not low-budget cosplays.
No.
These are cosplays they've worked hard on for a large amount of time.
That's right.
Some up to 2 months. Slacks.
My goodness, 2 months?
Yes, the tournament wasn't even announced. Dude,
That's
just doing it for free.
harder than anything I've ever worked on in my life, man. To make my kid, it took less than 2 months. It was easy. But anyway, so this should be an incredible opportunity to see some of the best cosplay out there. We've got a lot of people. In fact, they give us some facts about themselves.
Yes.
Some special facts. Oh my God. Oh
music,
my God,
that's
shit.
the
My
intro
heart
music?
started
Hello?
pumping. As soon as I heard that music, I thought we were going to see some cosplay action, so very excited about it. Crowd, how do you feel about cosplay, guys? Do you like the cosplay? Okay, we're about to see something very special here. Well, it appears that our cosplayers are just about ready, so let's go ahead and bring out our first one. Ladies and gentlemen, let the cosplay begin! Oh my goodness, who is coming onto that stage straight from the forest? My God, that is Rukia's Hoodwinked! Oh, she's got a freaking crossbow, baby! Watch out, if you got some nuts, be careful, because she's got, oh my God!
Oh, she's charging the sharpshooter.
Oh,
Slacks.
be careful. Now,
Out of the
she
way.
originally wanted to come as Queen of Pain, but she said she has a low cold tolerance.
Yes.
So she went for the Hoodwinked for the warmth, and I gotta tell you, it's getting hot in here for that Hoodwinked.
When I feel cold, I also put on a lot of fur. I get an acorn shot, you know?
Heck, I just saw a security guy escorting Gork out of the building. He saw that Hoodwinked, he started going crazy. Unbelievable. Look at that bow. Look at that crossbow. It moves.
It can charge, Slap.
Oh my God, that is incredible. All right, wow. That is fantastic. Well, I believe the next one should be coming out any moment now. But
Yes.
that is a fantastic Hoodwinked.
Very, very excited for the next cosplay. We got to see some support, but I want to see a carry. It's going to be the going to be the Marcy.
That's Marcy!
By Kang Dupet.
That is Marcy! That is Marcy! Second time at ESL One. Also came in 2018 as Marana. That is a Marcy! Look at it! She's got the shoes! She's got the stance! She's got the telescope! It's anime accurate! Oh my God! The weebs are freaking out there! Woo! That is a perfect Marcy! OG, avert your eyes! Get out of the shot! We don't care about you right now! It's Marcy time, baby!
Look at her. Do one last unleash for the crowd, please. Showcase how you would punch people, Marcy, as we get ready for the next cosplayer here.
That is right, the
And
next
that's
cosplayer!
going to be what we are going to find out here. It should
Oh
be
my God! You know who that is!
Crystal
You know
Maiden!
that's the Crystal Maiden!
Oh my God, by Vinka!
That
a
is
Crystal
right.
Maiden, the classic cosplay, the real Dota 1 cosplay, the puppy cosplay showcasing the power of secret.
Oh my God, as a Crystal Maiden myself, I can tell you that this is extremely high quality. She's got the moves, she's got the skills. Oh, the snow is coming out. We didn't even plan for that. This stage has no pyrotechnics. The snow is just happening. Absolutely unbelievable there. Very fantastic cosplay. Fun fact about her, by the way, wanted to come as Venge, but she didn't want to do the face paint, and I don't blame her.
She swapped her cosplays around.
Hey,
That's
that's
what she did. Look
pretty
at that.
good. Look at the craftsmanship on that. Absolutely fantastic. Wow, that is a great cosplay.
The face of pride like a true Crystal Maiden. Let's go on to our next cosplayer. We'll be coming out any second, and we'll find out together who that person is going to be. A little love from the crowd. It's the Dragon Knight!
The crowd goes wild.
Sir Davian is here. Is he also from Malaysia?
Absolutely. That is her first ESL One event. It took 1 week to make this costume. 1 week? I don't believe it.
1 week!
Unbelievable. The moves are there. The sides are there. Oh, whoa, take it. Wow, we got all the moves.
Oh my God, she's leading a new anime right here.
Unbelievable. Did you see that swords twin? That was actually hype as hell.
I can't do that.
Holy
I would have the
moly.
physical ability to be able to pull that off. Slack.
My God. You know, I never thought that Hoodwink was actually bigger than Dragon Knight, but today I learned.
Squirrels are massive, Slacks.
My God.
Squirrels, they're the most dangerous creatures out there.
Absolutely. We are having the time of our lives there as we get ready for our next cosplay.
Yes.
Oh.
And that's going to be the Drow Ranger.
Oh, yeah,
with a special Arcana set. There's
That is right. Oh,
ballistas
the
now.
attitude is there. That is some drow attitude coming down to the stage. And that is Rusa coming down there. Very fun fact. This was the first cosplay in 3 years. She's got the crossbow.
We brought back ESL One to Malaysia. We brought back cosplays to Rusa with this beautiful Arcana cosplay. Be careful or she'll multi-shot you to death.
Absolutely. The blood is not on the face yet. Thank God. She has not gotten a victim yet. But she will any moment now. Absolutely terrifying. What a fantastic Drow Ranger. That was absolutely beautiful.
That weapon is incredible, actually.
Wow, that is a gigantic crossbow. How could anyone lift that? She is strong as hell.
Only women in Squirrel can wield those kind of crossbows.
My God. All right, as we get ready for our next cosplayer right here. Who, is that Templar Assassin?
I think so. We can't
Oh.
quite see the side blades. Let's get closer to her so we can check out this beautiful cosplay. She has the run down and the move. She's setting down trap slacks.
Oh.
Be careful, you might get slowed. It's JC from Indonesia.
JC, my goodness, the secret is out and the TA is here. This costume was made in 1 week, and this is only the second Dota event that JC's been to. They were at the KL Major a few years. Look at the stand.
Oh, she's melting. I can't see her
Oh
slacks.
my God,
She's
that
gone.
is hype. That is hype. Well done, JC. Absolutely unbelievable.
Oh, those are the traps
There
going
you
off.
go. Whoa.
The psionic traps finally triggered as we get ready for the next cosplay. What other hero will be joining us here today?
We will see any moment now. If there, who comes out?
Oh my God!
Slithering out! Who could it be? I'm starting to stone right now. That's Dosa, baby. That's Risa as a Dosa. Look at the wiggle. Look at the waggle. You can tell all of her sisters are dead. Unbelievable. That is Medusa, baby.
This is the first time Slack she wanted to come here as a snake.
That's right. That's what they said. This was the first time I wanted to come as a snake.
Snake
And
audience.
we have been blessed by that slithery snake. Now, we want some good dose. Well, you got that. You got some.
Well,
good
you-
Who is
Oh
it?
my God!
Oh my God!
Sakuchiing on the stage!
It's the bucket!
It's a Weaver! Annie Acker from Malaysia! What a cosplay!
Holy
Oh my
moly!
God! This cosplay actually took 2 months to make.
Oh,
and
I
you can
believe
see
it.
the craftsmanship. Someone help her
Oh!
down the stairs, please.
I have never seen anything more like the end-game model in my life.
Oh
Look
my
at that
God.
Weaver! I want to crush it right now. That is a time lapse into my heart. Unbelievable.
She really Shukuchi'd on the stage, swarming us with love and happiness. Be careful for those geminid attacks, as she is going to stay up on that stage for a while.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, can we please give it up for these incredible cosplayers? Holy moly, that is some of the best I have ever seen. And you're going to see a little bit more Dota when we come back from this break. Let's go.
Goodbye.
Learn to let it go sometime. Don't let it stay on your mind. Don't let it stay inside. Gotta let it out with the sunshine. Maybe walk it out. Sometimes gotta scream and shout. Let them know that you're here, no doubt. Took a long time, but we here now. I know you're ready for the hardships. Know you're ready for the progress. I know you living your truth, but don't forget to always stay honest. So do a little dance, do a little wiggle. Yeah, it's your turn. Yeah, learn how the universe works. Yeah, come on. We can't control the world, but I'm trying to control myself. Yeah, I'm trying to control myself. Yeah, we can't don't chase it, can't control the world. But I'm trying to control myself. Yeah, I'm trying to control myself. Yeah. We can't control the world. No. What we doing? But baby, I just can't hold it. I'm just trying to control it. Yeah. Just trying to control it. Hey, just trying to control it. Yeah. Let it out. Let it out. La, 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 la.
She be in the right place, always at the right time. Looking like a dream worth chasing. My place, hit me in the nighttime. Trying to come through and I say, okay. What else I'ma say? Sucker for a pretty face, okay. And she always get away when I say. Never help myself, pretty baby. She like 2020, always driving me crazy. She like spending money just as soon as I make it. Even with the drama, Lil' Mama, my favorite. She come with finesse and stutter steps, everything fresh to the
All right, here we go. It is time for another lower bracket match elimination on the line. We got OG, we got FNATIC, and we have got a sold-out arena of stars. And to be honest, I don't know who the crowd favorite will be in this one. We're about to find out how loud everybody can get here. And to discuss this one on the panel, I'm joined by Effie and two very special guests. We got Entity's own Stormstormer and Coach Metpoom on the panel. Good evening, guys. How are you doing? How are you doing, Stormstormer?
Hi. Great to be here. Looking forward to this paneling.
Yeah, it should be fun. Metpoom, how are you?
I'm fine, still a bit sad from yesterday's game, but already kind of recovered.
How do you deal with something like that? Dealing with, because we are gonna talk about this. FNATIC did have the same lineup twice in a row. That must feel a little bad.
I mean, of course. I mean, it's still settling down a little bit, but in the end, it's competition. It's not the first time we've been to Arlington too, and you gotta make the best out of it. And we would have preferred to go long in this tournament, but in the end, FNATIC turned out to be the better team, so they deserve to win. And now just looking forward to the next step, TI.
Yeah, and there's definitely indeed a lot of lessons that you guys have already learned. You guys looking very good on the field. Of course, Western Europe qualifiers will be a bloodbath, but that will be next week, I believe. Next week, indeed. And Western Europe team OG does not need to go to those qualifiers. So they are already through, and they are through in the lower bracket here as well. We have seen them, of course, earlier today, Effie. They looked on fire.
That series was incredible, I have to say. And I like that they did 3 different openers and didn't even resort to maybe doubling down and doing the same thing twice. And it shows that even though the new patch hit them, they're still recapturing and using their versatility. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're going to draft against FNATIC, because FNATIC got a little creative yesterday.
Metpoom, as a drafting coach as well, very hands-on with that. How do you prepare for a team like OG in drafting style?
I mean, OG really depend on Amar, on Amar's hero. And right now, I feel like his heroes got pretty nerfed. So every single game they play, it becomes easier to understand what they're gonna pick, because new patch, everybody's still trying to find what they want, what they prefer, and definitely for OG it's not the best experience here, I think, because it's kind of shaky for them. Also, playing with Chu, again, not with Misha and not even with Sep, because with Sep they at least had some experience. So yeah, I guess for OG it's not that.
They're a little bit shaky.
Yes.
A little bit shaky here. They're going up against a team that is also playing with the stand-in. We got ourselves FNATIC on the opposite sides of OG. And Paulos has been fitting in quite fine, but Stormstormer, obviously, we are going to talk about Armel.
Because, yeah, 1v1 mid, you're a mid player, you faced a lot of mid players this event. I would imagine you faced even more in scrims. Who's the best mid laner at this event that you faced?
That I faced. I mean, I need to look back, actually. I think Armel is up there, but I think the top will still be Nisha, actually, in Secret. I think he's also really on fire. But Armel will definitely be up there. I mean, he also beat Sumail in the actual 1v1 that made them play in the upper bracket, which is impressive. So it's going to be a hype series between Armel and BZM for sure.
Yeah, and of course Armel versus BZM, the mid lane has changed a little bit with the small camp being removed. And we have a lot of people saying like, okay, this mid lane now, it's pure skill matchup. How do you feel about the mid lane this patch?
For sure. I mean, it's way more on basically mechanics and skill, because the easy camp basically give you options to even out the mid matchups, even when the matchup was a bit harder, because it basically, I mean, you get that safe from the easy camp no matter what. Yeah, like counter picking is way more value now. It's more risky to pick yours, which can be cheesed, and I think most mid lanes are just happy about this change, honestly. Like, the easy camp has been boring at some point, but you still have to get used to it, kind of.
Still have to get used to it, but it's been a lot of fun seeing all the mid laners going head to head. It's a true battle of skill right now, and it will be a true battle of skill in this matchup. And before we, of course, get to see the players play on stage, they first have to get to the stage, so let's welcome them on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the last match of the night? My goodness gracious, I am here with Bravo yet again.
I'm here with Sir Action Slacks right here.
All right, fantastic. Guys, are we still awake out there in Genting? We've had a very long day. Is anyone still in the arena? Hello?
I can't hear them, actually. I don't know. I can't see them
Malaysia,
either.
are you still alive?
Hello?
Oh, you bet your bottom dollar, my friend. These are two of the most popular teams in here. I haven't heard this crowd stop screaming for the last freaking 12 hours I've been here, and it's about to blow up even more so.
Well, what are the teams? I need to know. I mean, what are the hype teams, Slacks?
Okay.
What's the first team that's going to come out?
I can introduce that first team. You might have heard of these guys before. Some call them the last hope of Southeast Asia, at least in this tournament. They got names that you love. They got names that you remember. They got some DJ. They got some jabs. Let's bring us out some FNATIC!
Now we get to meet their opponents. One of the best teams in the world, winners already of a single major. They might not be playing in home turf, but they sure feel like SEA is home here. Please give it up for OG!
Woo! Unbelievable. All right. Now I got to settle this right now. Before one of these teams has to leave, I need to know who the crowd is actually rooting for the most. So I take my boys over here. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please put it together, everything you have, and tell me that you're here to watch C-Dota win? You're here for FNATIC!
Okay, crowd, I hear you. The home favorites, let's show some love for the international representation. Please give me a chant here for OG!
Well, I gotta tell you, my man, we are in the best crowd in the world because it seems like they don't give a shit. They just want to watch these guys destroy each other. So let's bring in that action. Let's start the game.
Let's start that game indeed. We are getting ready ready for a best of 3. Of course, both teams already secured top 4, but they would love to move forward to that final day of ESL One Malaysia 2022. Now, when we're looking at these two teams, we already heard the chants. It's DJ all the way. We saw him pop off yesterday against Entity. Sorry, guys. But these chants are there for a reason, and I want to talk about the position force because, first of all, Medpoom, they are very different. Taiga versus DJ. What do you make of that matchup?
DJ played yesterday an amazing third game. Like, honestly, it was not an easy Enix game, but he did a lot of great stuff. Like, he stunned 3 people like multiple times. He played very well. And Taiga, I mean, it also depends what's gonna Chu play, what gonna Taiga play, because it might be that Taiga gonna be play something like Boss 5. I think right now DJ maybe from like yesterday games, maybe he hyped up because he played very insanely well. Maybe he have even more confidence going into this game.
DJ on LAN, Effie. It's something else.
I don't know what happens to him on LAN, but he really transforms. I mean, I really think that yesterday's games have definitely hyped him up, like you just said. But also, I feel like with the crowd on your side, that's just a buff, right? That's like plus 200 stats. So I'm really excited to watch him play. But honestly, more than anything, it really seems like Armel and DJ have found a nice balance with how to play each other around the mid game. Yesterday, we saw it with their Nyx and Bats. We saw them try to play it with their Storm and their Hoodwink, and it looked good at some points, right? So I do expect to see a lot of synergy going on between these two players.
Very much so. Storm, we heard Effie say, DJ got the crowd on his side. But we just heard the crowd cheer for both teams. Did you feel like there was a crowd favorite for this one?
No, it was pretty close, I think. It was pretty close. Just yesterday, just getting back to DJ, I think the crowd was literally cheering, DJ after beating us. So, no, it's gonna be hype. Also, DJ, just wanna underline what Medrim said. Like, he's really popping off in this tournament.
He really, really is. There's another person that's popping off, and it's Slacks. And for some reason, he's back on the stage. Slacks?
Hi!
Hi!
Oh, hi, Cheever! I'm right behind you. Hello, everybody! Are you ready for some free goodies? For the DHL drop, my friends, it is ready to drop once more. Now, before, I could only go so far because of my weak gamer physique. I could only go in the front, but this time, we're going all over the arena. I'll be looking at the screen, show your signs to the camera, and we will pick one lucky winner to see what's in the box. It could be anything. Self-esteem, free MMR, probably not, but let's find out. All right, here we go. Lot of good signs. Vovo give true sight. That's a good one. I can't. Me either. It's true. Oh, that one, the DHL drop sign is backwards. You didn't even write anything. Good effort there. Amar. There's a lot of Amars. Slacks, notice me. I see you. You might just win. Probably not, though. Trying too hard. Oh. All right, do we have any more boxes here? Show me some more signs. I need more. What do we have? Dota? Do it for Slack. All right, no pandering. No pandering. All right, give me one more sign, production. Pick your favorite. Let's see what we got here. Give me another one. So actually slays. Stop pandering. Okay. BKB, we don't do that here. Yeah, it'll work for me. That's right. Welcome. Somebody get that guy. Bring him up here. Where is he? Hunt him. Hunt. I got a delivery for you. Oh, I messed up. He was right in front of me. Hello. We have the sign here. Congratulations. What is your name?
Nick.
Oh, Nick. Would you like to open up my box? Okay. Go ahead. There you go. Don't drop it, Nick. What's in there, Nick? Show the camera. What do we got? Oh, a piece of paper. That's not that important, Nick. All right, here we go. There we go. Headphones. Mouse pad. We've added some more things in there, Nick. Is that a water bottle hidden by an SSD? And the most important thing of all, down at the bottom, one Phantom Lancer pin. Do you like Phantom Lancer?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you do now. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Nick. If you don't buy a BKB, please give it up. You disgusting carries, please buy BKB. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Nick. Take your box back to your seats, and we will go back to the panel. Thanks for being part of the drop.
Thank you very much, Slacks, indeed, and congratulations to the lucky winner of the DHL drop. And we're getting ready for that draft, of course. OG FNATIC, you already saw them. They're in their booths. They're ready to hit that play button. And we already asked Matt Poom the drafting side of OG and what's important, but I also wanted to ask the same question about FNATIC. What did you learn yesterday that we might be able to, learn from here today as well?
FNATIC playing with stand-in, so it also definitely changes their drafts. I don't know, I found very interesting that their post 3 drops. He can play almost any hero. Like he plays with very different heroes, and you cannot expect what he can pick. Like if he gets very late pick, it could be anything. And sometimes it can absolutely destroy the draft, but at the same time, sometimes it can bite his team as well, because if you play too many heroes, it means that probably on some of these heroes you are not as good as other people are.
We literally had no idea what to ban. It was the last ban, we were like, this guy plays anything. Okay, whatever, just click a random hero, just ban it.
No, I'm really glad you guys mentioned that though, because it really feels like Jabs is just the crux of FNATIC's drafting. And maybe in some ways it cannot play to your strengths. Like you mentioned, too much versatility can be a little bit bad for your team, but at the start of a new match, or a new patch rather, I feel like this is what you want out of your offlaner. You want him to be able to play everything. But I do wonder if they're going to save last pick for Jabs again here, or if they're going to go for a different approach versus OG today.
Now we have a draft live, and we have got FNATIC on the Dire side. First pick going to OG on the Radiant side. So FNATIC overall last pick. So if they do want to save that last pick for Jabs, then he has the pick of the litter for him. What do we feel about these openings, Storm? We got the Tiny Puck on the side of FNATIC, the Undying Templar Assassin on the side of OG.
So Tiny Puck actually feels like this is not the new patch, it's the old patch. Like this is very old school. I think that FNATIC is one of the few teams that also flexes the puck to the offlane, if I'm not mistaken. Like I think this is not an exclusive mid puck, so this is kind of funny flexing. I would like to mention out the bans a bit as well, like OG banning out the Bad Rider in the Enigma. Bad Rider seems to be one of those top mid laners right now. Absolutely buffed in the last patch, and also was kind of the nailstone in our series yesterday against them. I do like OG's opener too as well, though. Undying seems like one of the S tier supports right now with DK buff in the laning stage. It feels like this hero got so much stronger. And the TA right after, very common answer also last patch, like counters both the puck and the tiny inherently. Like Refraction very good against tiny, TA has a decent lane against pucks since many, many years. So yeah, I honestly, like, FNATIC is kind of old school opener to me, but I like OG's response a lot right now.
And we really saw it yesterday, but we saw the power of the Undying versus Entity series, right? Where the Tombstone can do so much if left unchecked.
So annoying.
If you don't have, I'm so sorry. You guys played great though. But if you don't have some kind of inherent vision providing hero that can scout out these tombstones on cliffs, or supports that can put themselves in harm's way to take it out, it makes taking these fights so much more complicated and so much more chaotic. So I think that Undying is a hero that a lot of teams are potentially looking at now for their first phase too.
Even if you do have vision, sometimes it's like you need 4 seconds to get to the tomb and destroy it. So basically it's at least 4 seconds stun, which is also not that bad, at least. Yeah, like sometimes also Undying is not only about the dump, like his spells also like DK buff for the laning stage. This hero is insanely strong now, because he used to be not the best laner, like even though against strengths meeting like offlaners he kind of shines, but still, like, even against those heroes sometimes laning doesn't go that well. Now with this new DK he doesn't lose HP, like it's insane. It's basically, I don't know, brains up with pain. So yeah, this hero is very strong. I do like OG's draft a bit more right now. I think Undying is insanely strong this meta. They already have an okay answer to Puck, even though Jabs can play Puck once again. It can happen. Yeah, we see Dazzleband. TB is classic TA answer. Not sure if. Yeah.
Also, the FNATIC bans are kind of old school as well. It feels like they're playing the old patch still, but it's kind of funny. NS ban against Puck, pretty natural. I think this Puck will be core position no matter what. So, except if it pulls out some DJ or whatever Puck, but it's not going to happen, I think. So NS ban is very classic against that. Ember ban also, OG flexes it to Yuragi and BZM. They both play a very good Ember, so that makes a lot of sense. Also one of the most old school pairings with the TA. You have the lockdown damage combination. PL ban from OG, I found a bit interesting. I'm not sure what you think about it, Mitrin, but it's a bit early. I guess FNATIC does have the 18 pick, so that could already be a decent PL pick. And now that I think about it, it counters both the Undying and the Templar, so pretty solid. But
yeah, Palace is PL player. Probably not the highest pick rate for him this tournament, but I know that he can play PL, and already these two heroes like Undying and TA are not very good. You don't want to be trapped into position that you have to answer somehow 16,
That's
17 to this PL. You want to be more open, like when you see 15 pick, that you can pick anything.
And it should also be mentioned that the TA in the past, she's always been a flex pick, right, between 1 and 2, but in the last patch, she's been overwhelmingly safe lane. But with the changes in the small camp, this is a very high possibility of the flex mid too, because you see the puck already, right? And she is one of the heroes who isn't dependent on the small camp simply because her laning is so strong anyway, and she has a tendency to just sit in the triangle for a while too. So that option is open to OG.
yeah, refraction. TA also got a nice buff actually, which is the refraction buff. Mana cost reduced from 100 to 85, pretty noticeable. We also saw Nisha in this tournament when he played against, I think PZM was it. He played TA against Puck, it didn't even go for a bottle. Completely new meta. He went for full stats and completely crushed the matchup. So pretty nice to see those new discoveries being made.
Nice call on the DK.
Oh, that's some new picks.
DK. Amar used to play some DK.
That is, I didn't see that since a long time.
Not sure if it is comfort hero, but this hero got some buffs. I didn't see this hero much, so.
I mean, it's insanely good actually. I love this pick against all that FNATIC have. Not only the Q, Brief Fire is super good against Tiny, it reduces both the bonus damage and the base damage, but also you have the Dragon Tail of course against Puck and against Willow. I actually love this pick so much.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and the hero used to have a little bit of a mana cost problem, right? But he got some nice quality of life changes, and the Breathe Fire being 15 mana lower and a little bit of extra attack reduction. So things like that, while they may not seem game-breaking, do make the hero feel overall better.
Yeah, for sure. Also the Q got, I think, an increase of the damage reduction. I think it's from 25% to 30, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. But also, if you think about it, the flexing is still pretty insane on OG. It could be safe in TA and a mid DK even. FNATIC Alchemist. They did this yesterday a lot as well. They love this hero.
How do you deal with it?
Well, we don't know.
Okay, how should you have dealt with it?
I mean, I guess first step would be to give him a hard lane matchup, if that's possible. Make his start slow the start down a little bit. But honestly, OG heroes are already not that terrible against it. In my book, TA is pretty good against Alchemist actually. You can decently keep up with the farming speed of Alchemist, and the minus armor basically deals 600 damage against Alchemist until he has that AC, which is the 5th or 4th item. So I don't think OG's draft is too terrible against it. I'm not sure what the offlane DK against Alchemist safe lane is like. I can imagine that the DK slows down the Alchemist quite a bit with Brief Fire and Stun.
Even if Alchemist has an okay lane, they have DK, they have TA, they can pretty much start pressuring enemies in their own jungle. If it happens that they take mid tier 1 tower and offlane tier 1 tower, it's not that easy for Alchemist. Or at least if Alchemist finds his farm, it's hard for his team. Because if you face this TA with Aegis, for example, Undying with Tombstone and DK, it might be not that easy. It really depends on how the early mid game gonna look like.
This is such a good Veno ban. I was thinking FNATIC would just go for the Jabs Veno. They love to last pick it, and we talked about them saving this last pick always for their offlaner, who seems to be their win condition, compared to other teams who usually put that on one of their 2 cores. So, I mean, the sky is the limit here with this last pick.
Yeah. Jabs, of course, one of the only 2 players who have ever played every single role at DPC/Valve events. So that's where his versatility comes from. And we're going to find out what he's going to get. He gets the overall last pick. We got a Slardar ban. They will go for the Monkey King, though, because as you guys expected, the Dragon Knight most likely Amar's hero. Monkey King then for Yuragi?
It keeps flex somehow.
It keeps flex, yeah.
Yeah, Amar can play Monkey. It could be DK mid, safe lane very easily. So it's kind of open still. So it really depends on the FNATIC's last pick, how they want to choose their heroes on OG.
mean, they got quite a lot of options of Fnatic as well. You don't even know yet if the Tiny is mid, the Puck is mid, or they could in theory pick so many things. Beastmaster.
That's an Ammar punishment, you know, like he is always afraid of this hero, this Beastmaster. You could see from, like, I think Stockholm Major, if I'm not mistaken, but when he sees Beastmaster pick, he instantly, like, put his hands to his head.
Oh, they know.
Yeah.
But also this Beastmaster gives them the very important aspect of vision that we were talking about earlier, right? Vision to potentially scout cliffs for the Tombstone, maybe to find the Monkey King, and of course, let them see the backline in the Rubik.
It's a Beastmaster Tiny offlane. What do you think about that? Against Undying plus TA or Monkey? That's a bit risky, no?
Kinda, but like Tiny can pull waves and Beastmaster, even if the lane doesn't go well at the start, he farms pretty fast. So like with few rotations, like it really depends if they can get this tower, then this beast is completely fine. But if they kill him a few times and they don't let push their tower very early, then it might be a problem.
All right, we're going to find out if they can kill him a few times and how this game number 1 will play itself out in front of this crowd. We're heading over to Cap and SVG for the game.
That's right. Thank you, Sheever. Our last series of the night, FNATIC versus OG. A very hype one, especially since we got to see this same matchup at ESL One Stockholm, right?
Exactly.
That was a lower bracket elimination match, kind of similar to this one. Was a little bit earlier in the bracket, as opposed to here where we're fighting for top 3. And last time, OG at Stockholm, I believe they did take it 2-1 over FNATIC.
They had a lot of crowd momentum that event.
True.
This event, I'm not sure who is the better crowd favorite, but I feel like it has to be FNATIC.
I don't know. Let's do a
it's
test.
The home turf.
Crowd, can we hear where are my OG fans at? OG? It's not bad. It's not bad. But what about my FNATIC fans? Where are my FNATIC fans at?
Bit of a different situation this time around.
Oh yeah.
If we get to the point where the DJ's chants start coming out again, you gotta think that they're in an advantage.
Absolutely. All right. Let's kick things off here for our first game of this best of 3, hopefully a full series. That's what everybody wants to see out of this anyway. OG went for that pickup of the Monkey King towards the end, but FNATIC with the response to the Beastmaster. I mean, I feel like that's going to be a bit of a problem for OG. Would you agree?
This Beastmaster can definitely get out of control this game. The big question, though, is he going to get out of the lane? Now, this is an Undying versus double melee lane, potentially. Maybe FNATIC tries to do some lane dodge shenanigans. At the same time, you can't really throw Alk down there. I'm a bit worried for Jabs' early game, and every Beastmaster player is going to tell you, if your early game is rough, the hero is not the same at all. Pretty much master of nothing. At the same time, I'm pretty excited for Chu on this Rubik. This is like one of his siggies, you know? And whenever he's taken away the 4 position from Taiga, pushing him down a little bit, Taiga might be maybe used to it at this point. He's going to take up the Undying, first pick Undying.
Yeah, I mean, Taiga let us know on social media. He says, don't worry, that 5 position, Taiga, it's coming back. I'm going to keep playing that 5, and Chu is going to keep playing that excellent 4 position. That, I don't know, something about it must be something to do with the atmosphere. Something in the air, man. These stand-ins for OG just always seem to excel. And Chu has certainly shown it so far in this tournament. Looks like we're going to just have the 2-2 split of bounty runes, nothing major. Though we did see OG start off with an early D ward, so that's a huge advantage. I think Chu actually got like full experience for a D ward in that top lane, so good start for him. BZM versus Armel in the mid lane matchup. 2 super skilled mid laners in a matchup that, well, can be a little bit snooze. We'll see. Dragon Knight is usually just one of those heroes that chills out. It's not until the mid game that we're really going to see him be super active. It's not a hero that we've seen a whole lot of mid lately. Why do you think they brought it back?
No, I mean, this second phase was all about stuns for OG. You open a dying TA, you just want to get the control, make sure you can anchor the fights around the tombstone, play off the back of the trap. So OG, Dragon Knight, Rubik, deal with the puck, get your stuns at the same time. This team really likes having their stuns because, again, they play this tri-core type lineups. You're not going to have a lack of damage. You might fall in a position where you have a lack of control, and that's where, like you're talking about, all these support players on OG, they love hitting their shackles, love hitting their fissures, love hitting their lifts. It's all about the control. In tri-lane on tri-lane action, a little bit of a throwback here.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, I'm not convinced OG is going to be able to win this aggro tri-lane they've got going out. The toss back. Januel is taking a lot of damage and he doesn't have level 2 yet, so there's no Shadow Run to protect him. Amar takes the first blood. FNATIC thought they were going to be able to kill Amar. Turns out it goes the other way around.
Yeah, OG late to the tri-lane and still getting that first blood. A little bit of mischief dodge, a little bit of fairy fire action, but still.
Nice toss back. This is what I was expecting. Toss back underneath tower into stuns. I feel like this is really difficult for OG to deal with, which means they probably want the creep wave to push in, which it is going to. They've got double range creeps going out there.
I mean, tri-laning into Undying is pretty damn tough. There's not a lot that beats it over the long run. The upside is, in theory, they get some early XP and gold for this Beastmaster, who otherwise would have had to play into that Dirge himself. So Jabs does get the one-on-one. At the same time, he was kind of getting beat up in this one-on-one. Yuragi just taking it to him with the side blades and the damage. He's kind of limping his way to Helm here. Will get it. All said and done, I feel like Jabs is probably happy with this outcome compared to what he was facing down the barrel, which was going to be a rough start. Of course, Alk can always catch up. I think FNATIC just wants XP out of this. I almost think this trialing was a bit of a, they were trying to bait OG into, you know, running around the map, not getting their static lane setup they wanted, propel them past the first few levels here, and then they're going to be happy. That said, Jabs bleeding on bottom and just gets side-bladed into oblivion here. Not exactly what he wanted to get out of the Helm that was still on Courier and didn't even get delivered to him there.
Yeah, you can see how hard this lane is. Not only is the Beastmaster dying, but you can see Well, he's like, okay, I've just got to pull creeps, which is typically not what you do as a range 4 position. And somehow missed the easy camp there, so his wave ends up getting pulled. That's awkward. Taiga did a nice job earlier. We saw him deny himself, basically threw himself into the tier 2 so he could get into this position to help Yuragi. And a big reason why they get this second kill in the game.
Decent laning start for OG here. This is not a team you want to give a laning start to. It tends to be, I think, one of the weaknesses you can exploit. If they get a lead, they just tend to build it and they become unstoppable here. I'm a bit worried at how far Jabs is falling behind here. Sure, he got the Helm, but he hasn't been able to stay in the lane to any degree versus Undying TA, and Yuragi's just getting the world gifted to him.
He certainly is. I mean, if they're going to be winning that top lane and the TA is free farming, I mean, that just means the TA is going to go into the triangle pretty quickly. We could see a fast Desolator, which means Roshan, very early Roshan could be on the table for OG.
Sure. I mean, TA kills it, and at the same time, you have Wukong and Undying Tombstone to dissuade the contest.
Oh, yeah.
That's like an impossible Roche for FNATIC, especially since Alk is probably going to be on catch-up duty for most of this game. His start is not fun here versus the Monkey King. Double Wraithband and boots up for Amar already. First blood gold injected straight into his veins, and he's slapping it right back to Palos.
Now, it is interesting, OG playing this off-lane Monkey King. It's something that we have seen Amar play a couple times before. We saw it at the Major. In fact, it was used specifically against FNATIC. So that is kind of an interesting little twist.
I mean, Amar likes this Monkey. It fits his profile of these like anti-carry offlaners. You think of these Razors, you think of these Vipers. Monkey can fit this role kind of subtly. At the same time, of course, it's also a carry. Masquerading as an offlaner where you can scale.
Yep,
but this hero just destroys melee carries on the lane.
Really trying for this one. They do manage to get the avalanche into the toss back. There it is. The Bramble's going to be able to work through the refraction as well.
Kill.
So this is a really nice kill if they can get it, but it's going to take a little bit more, and the Tombstone's already out. They want to fight into that one, and they don't have Shadow Realm for Jen. Well, so he's going to be tossed back again. FNATIC go for an aggressive maneuver, but instead find themselves to be the victim of OG.
And this is worst case scenario. Beastmaster not getting anything aggressive. More levels to the Templar Assassin, and the whole time, again, Palos cannot lane top. This is an unlaneable one-on-one. The mid matchup going okay for Armel here. It's just not much pressure he can exert on the Dragon Knight. Double bracer up, full stick. This is a lane setup OG's very happy with. All they have to think about is this aggression that can come out from Beast. If they shut it down every time, there's no other play options on the map for FNATIC. It's just going to be on catch-up duty, try and get some stacks up for the Alk. Play defensive. OG don't want to give him that time. Using the catapult mid, level 6 timing for Dragon Knight, 6-minute rune. Everybody looking for it.
They're going to try and punish him with the toss back. Does it snap the coil? It does. Straight to the Bramble as well. Really nice combo there from FNATIC, showing they've got something still that they can do, even though their previous moves of aggression were a bit stymied. They still able to do something here. Of course, Amar had nice use of the trickery there towards the end. Palos stuns himself.
Maybe man up.
Palos may have to just leave lane pre-level 6, which is going to feel really bad, or maybe he's going to go and leave lane in a casket here. So they've got the ward behind the tower.
He doesn't want to leave because there's just no stacks. He was laning with this DJ Tiny. I mean, DJ doesn't want to be stacking. He wants to be killing heroes.
Yeah.
The kill mid definitely helped this game a lot. But these side lanes for FNATIC, they are just very far behind. And they're not side lanes that necessarily get better for them over the long run. Especially this TA, just how farmed he is.
So it means a lot is going to come down to Armel and his rotations, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is why FNATIC really wants to contest these power rooms and stop the DK momentum, because that will free up the puck. And
I mean, you knew
felt
Palos,
inevitable.
he was going to die eventually.
Oh, yeah. There's just nowhere for him to go.
And the Siege Wagon is pushing in, so this is going to be at least a decent amount of damage to this top tower. We'll see if they're able to kick DG out of lane at all. And if they're able to tank for the tower as well for the next creep wave.
I can even see this Alec just trying to make some early moves to help defend mid. The next DK form is coming up here. As I say that, he instantly TPs in for the bottle refill. I think FNATIC's only play option here is really to play around the coil, try and get some aggressive bait from OG that gets turned around against him.
It's just like the toss coil combo.
Yeah, the
right?
toss
It's
coil.
Like,
the other route is you play around this roar and the summons. Jabs does have his Helm of the Dominator. This is where he can start to push back against this TA.
That's true. The refraction is no longer going to be a
Armel's down
defense. Armel, he's going to show up, spots Uragi. He's got the coil ready to go, but they do not opt to try and dive for that kill.
Well, they're trying to have Palos defend mid while they make this bottom move.
Well, that's not going to go well now with the two supports rotating in. Palos, he's going to have to run down the river away from this tombstone, turn around, stuns up BCM. It's going to be kind of a close call. They're going to have another round of decay and a shot from BCM, and Palos is going to fall.
Stalling them up a decent amount, forces the tomb drop. It'll probably free up this bottom tower for Jabs as Uragi leaves the lane from the numbers. Still mid tower. This is exactly what BZM want, and it's pretty much the best move Taiga can make at this point in the game. Meanwhile, Amar, the silent carry, just continuing to farm top in an empty lane pretty much.
Yeah.
DJ leeching what he can. He's leached a decent amount, up to 1,000 gold. This is going to be a slow game for FNATIC. They're going to have to grind out what little map control they have. Try and make the best out of this Greevil's greed.
Which means, like, a lot of it could be the way FNATIC's back into the game is, you know, playing that defensive Dota and waiting for OG to slip up, which does come down to the interesting factor of just stamina and fatigue, right? Where here, a LAN environment is naturally more draining than your regular Dota match, and OG, you know, they played the first match of the day, long series, tough 1-2. Now they're having to play a second series at the end of the day.
Look, we'll if I know anything,
yeah?
Amar has the stamina higher than any player I've met. This guy plays 10 pubs a day and flames everybody in all of them. He's used to it, you know?
That guy is max energy all the time.
Exactly.
At least when it comes to flame. Palos, this Undying is being a little annoying, and they're going to make sure he's punished for a move like that. Armel, is he going to be fine? Maybe not. Amar's going to show up. They're going to get the chainsaw off of that. The avalanche might help Amar, but he cannot jump to the other side of that cliff. Palos was able to finish up the creep wave, but still.
He got his skeleton stolen, man.
Oh, no.
He really just wanted the skellies.
Man, look how far away he is from a Radiance.
Yeah, he's going to be far away for a very long time. This is why FNATIC really want to hold this mid tower, and that type of move, not only isn't that great for them, but it costs them the coil and the resources they kind of need to defend mid, which is their last bastion to maintain the camps for Alchemist. It's going to force Palos into this bottom area of the map now, which takes it away from Jabs. Wouldn't be surprised to see FNATIC try and smoke this Beastmaster on the next roar, clear out their own jungle, potentially even defend top, because they're not going to have the option for these super aggressive moves. They have to take the defensive fights when OG gives it to them and try and make space for this Alchemist to catch up.
It is kind of awkward, right? The Alchemist and Beastmaster, when you're in this situation, they kind of want to occupy the same area of the map, right?
Yeah, that's the downside of this tower going down, is it forces them to the same camps. And as we're seeing Jabs, he's just getting kicked towards mid here.
Long jump forward here, getting on top of DJ. He avalanches and heads back to the safety of the tower, though that tower I don't think is going to last for long, not with BZM and a double damage. Sweep it in from behind, gonna catch DJ. Follow up here from Mamar, he's gonna drop the Wukong's command. That'll easily be enough damage to get that kill, and nobody from FNATIC is gonna rotate to stop this one, so that top tower is probably forfeit, though the Beastmaster is gonna make move towards mid. They're gonna spot Chu. Do you manage to silence him and see if the silence lasts long enough? He has to jump away before the telekinesis is there. They do have all the creeps coming in from the Beastmaster. RML on the other side as well. One last sweep, and they do manage to get it. Jabs claims the last hit, though the mid creep wave does die, so they didn't get any tower damage in.
At least they're getting something on the map. They're wasting a bit of this TA's time watching his friend die. Jabs will now move up into that chop jungle so they can free up the space for Alk. This is kind of the ideal map setup that they want to have going on, considering the circumstances. So all in all, that move, decent for FNATIC. Maintaining their map control, getting some more vision. John Will had some more D-wards during that whole period. Vision in FNATIC's favor at the moment as well. Very big for them. It's often the best way to abuse this Beastmaster.
That Beastmaster is now sticking it out in the dire jungle as Palos farms his way back to the triangle. So expecting some sort of smoke maneuver here from OG. I mean, they've taken the outer towers. Now it's time to start asserting, planting your flag somewhere on the dire side of the map and really ensuring that FNATIC can't keep on farming the way they're doing.
And here it is, Blink for the Dragon Knight, Deso for TA. This is a scary timing.
Yeah, if they get the right opening, right, it's straight into the Roshan pit.
Yep. And that's why DJ's just been super annoying pushing his top lane out deep. Okay, they're going to smoke find him here and kill him. But this is probably the best target that FNATIC can give up for this smoke. It's a huge way for BZM to run. It's a random support who got more gold off the wave. DJ even went phase boots in this game, being a little greedy. More time for Alchemist to kill some skeletons bottom. More time for Beast to shove mid in. Again, I don't think this Roche was ever contestable from FNATIC to begin with.
Yeah.
OG is just going to force it with the Desolator.
We'll see what FNATIC gets in the meantime, because they probably have a strong idea of this is happening. I mean, I would expect some sort of move, maybe on mid. But the Beastmaster is actually just farming the triangle right now.
The move is just so dangerous. I mean, you overextended at this Tombstone. They don't have the best hitters early on in the game unless Beast feels insanely strong to just run in. You have to think about the trap vision. You have to think about this monkey sitting in a random tree might just stun you. The aggressive moves, I think, are still off the table for now. Jab stacked this triangle, gonna give it to his Alchemist friend.
Yeah, careful with that shockwave there, Jabs.
I mean, all things considered, this Radiance timing is not the worst I've seen.
Yeah, he's definitely recovered pretty well, because I feel like his net worth at 9 minutes was pretty substandard, but now he's kind of back into a decent spot. And we'll see. I mean, the Radiance just accelerates things even further. There's still this awkward part where Palos and Jabs are occupying the same part of the map and kind of fighting over the same farm.
At the same time, OG hasn't built any crazy amount of lead. Their supports have a little low damage until, the next few minutes. I say that, and Chu does have level 4 Avalanche, which is why they're smoking. It's going to be kind of a map control game from OG. They just want to get all 3 of their cores insanely farmed to the point where
Jabs is here. They're going to spot him.
Someone's getting caught by these.
At this point, would you say, like, FNATIC, these deaths are sort of expected in some way? They just kind of, like, have to aggressively shove out lanes and then make moves like this, where they're going to try and catch the Undying. Not the easiest kill in the world, but a good toss-back snap of the coil does do a much more efficient job of killing the Undying.
Amar doesn't want to give him the space.
Oh, barely gets out that fear before the stun comes out. But apparently they're going to keep chasing here. No reason not to. They can get the stun. The follow-up there, the bounce strike. There's the chain stun, and Armel, well, he doesn't really have much to jump on. He barely gets away to the side. A two-man's down from Palos. What an entrance from the air. And there you have it. Palos picks up the double kill. What an opportunity for him, showing up at just the perfect time.
Yeah, global silence strikes again, but what can you do? A lot of silencer in this meta. Amazing two-man stun from them. That's the kind of overextension that FNATIC want to get out of OG here. If they dive deep, no tombstone for that engagement, the pick-off proving super valuable. Exactly what FNATIC want. A fight around their tower. OG cores commit in deep. Gives Palos a free fight here. Puck barely living with the jaunts of Armel here, dodging some right clicks. Absolutely beautiful.
And this, I mean, that AoE stun, Curse Crown, then they're all just set up. There's nothing OG can do about this second life.
Again, this is not the type of anchored fight OG wants around their Wukong, around their Tombstone. That's a big injection of net worth for FNATIC here.
Massive. In fact, the first time that they've had the net worth lead, which you would expect them to have with an Alchemist lineup, and only just now being able to obtain it. So, goes to say a lot about the way that they've managed to climb their way back into the game, though I would still not say that they're ahead. It's still definitely OG controlling the tempo of this game. They're the ones in the driver's seat. They're the ones going to be dictating this next fight, which is going to be 4-man smoke. Breaks on mid, and nothing's going to come of it.
This is a lot of movement for OG. I can feel that they know they're stronger. They want to control the map. FNATIC just splitting them up, being super annoying to catch. Not super reliable for OG at this point in the game. That said, the start that they have in this game, the early Aegis, the amount they're going to be able to farm on the map with all 3 of their cores. The issue for FNATIC here is, are they going to get to this Alchemist timing at a point where he can actually engage in the fight versus the BKBs from OG and just the raw physical that's going to come out from this lineup? You have the Deso, you have the melt hits that are going to come in, and then you have a DK Monkey King on the back of that that are just going to output an insane amount of damage into this Alchemist, who's not going to have armor for a lot of time. And I think that's why Palos is, again, we saw this yesterday, rushing AC here. Radiance, BKB, AC, skipping Blink.
I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go for the Heaven's Halberd. I thought that was
that was the other option. Yeah. I think we were going to see what does he think is going to deal with this physical the most. Jab's even going for this Wraith Pact over the Helm of the Overlord, just trying to help mitigate some of this damage and be able to fight into this OG ball. Blink on Armel. Maybe time to get aggressive here.
Yeah,
they have to
with
be
the
careful,
BKB. This has got to be a big power spike for FNATIC, and if they get the right opening here, maybe a mid-tower to claim.
Oh, here's some damage mitigation. Frost armor off this Ogre Frost Mage
that
could
is
prove
a
huge.
Monster pickup, actually.
Yeah, it's actually huge for what OG want to do in these fights. And maybe giving FNATIC the confidence to push in here.
OG, do not give them the free team fight opener here. But FNATIC are still going to push it.
DJ would really like to get a toss back here and disjoint the fight.
They're going to go for it off the glyph. They're going to go for the Wukong's command. See if they can chain stun the Alchemist inside. That nice toss back from DJ.
Save.
There goes the Terrorize as well. They've got the stuns going out onto the TA, but it looks like Palos maybe wants BZM instead. They're going to go for the DK. Now turn back for that Templar Assassin.
Stuck
and
in
they
the
just wipe
brambles.
through OG one by one. Your tombstone means nothing. Your tower doesn't mean a damn. They just run down these heroes with the Alchemist. Lost sight, gets the vision, stuns himself, but it doesn't matter. The Rubik's dead as well. 4 dead on the side of OG. They thought they could defend that tower against FNATIC, but they thought wrong.
FNATIC with the ward behind the tower. The Hawks doing all the work there. The toss from DJ, absolutely perfect conceptually for how FNATIC wants to take this fight. Yuragi doesn't have BKB yet. He's just getting stuck in the brambles from this Willow Shard as well. Brown Boots rushed it, definitely paying dividends. An amazing fight from FNATIC here, abusing their timing to the max. Beautiful silences from Armel on the backside. And of course, that Ogre Frost Mage should get the extra right clicks in the middle of it all.
That was actually, I mean, that toss was so good, but at the same time, Armel and Janwell's response was also so perfect that the toss maybe wasn't even needed.
He might have just been able to stand and fight.
Yeah, he might have been able to because everybody else responded so perfectly.
I mean, a beautiful synchronization of timings. You have the Blink Witchblade for Puck, you have the BKB for Alk, you have the Wraith Pact for Jabs. A really nice itemization here from FNATIC. Even that Willow Shard proving to be immensely useful in that engagement. FNATIC strike back here, pushing the lead up to 5K. Again, the vision game has just been immaculate from them. Still controlling most of the map here. Hawks and wards deep on OG's side. I don't think OG's been able to get any wards on FNATIC's side for a decent amount of time. And it's costing them dearly. They just can't read where FNATIC's splitting them up. Now all of a sudden, Palos, Hyperstone, clearing some zombies.
Can you no longer farm zombies with Grievil's Greed?
I think you can.
I'm surprised Palos didn't take advantage of that.
Oh, they're looking for Amar.
Oh, but he's got the BKB. Still, though, a BKB expended is a decent win. A decent trade-off for a coil used, especially since they got the tier 2. They're going to be able to take the outpost here. It feels like FNATIC is still going to be kind of running this game until the TA BKB. That, I feel like, is maybe when OG can turn and take these team fights a little bit better.
The triple core BKB timing is going to be OG's best way to retake this game, especially for the Roshan fight. I wouldn't be surprised to just see OG play for it, considering they want Fnatic to come into them.
At the same time, that's going to be, oh, the smoke's going to break. Oh, DJ almost caught him there with the avalanche, but Amar was just a bit quicker.
This is where the vision game means a lot, right? You see this monkey in a tree, you might get a cut, you might just be able to jump him before he jumps you, and at the same time, try and secure this next Roshan. Fnatic pushing hard here. Another ward for OG gonna go down. I'm worried about their ability to contest this next Roshan if they don't see anything. It's gonna be a blind smoke, trying to bank on the power of triple BKB, enough to fight through all of the boar slow, potential tossback saves.
I mean, not that OG know, but I feel like a later Roshan is to their advantage. Like if Roshan spawned right now, I feel like Fnatic could take it pretty easily. But a later Roshan means a chance for BKB. It's on BZN. It's soon going to be on Uragi. So they are going to hit their timing to play for this second Rosh. We are going to have a big clash.
Problem is the armor differential is getting skewed heavily in the last few minutes here.
Yeah.
AC done for Palos. Jabs even picked up Dragon Scale phase boots, just trying to pack on any extra armor he has. Fnatic have a very good read on this game, which is if OG can't kill you through right clicks, there is no other damage in their lineup.
That's true. So in that case, how does OG set up a team fight? Like, who are they gunning for first?
You have to go in with the DK stun, go in with a lift, chain the stuns, commit with all your cores and BKB, and burst a good core. Ideally, you're looking for Puck or Alk. It's a majority of Fnatic's damage.
Do you think they can burst the Alchemist?
That's a tricky question. I think they can with the triple BKB chain stun. The question is there going to be another tossback save? Is there going to be a roar interrupt?
He jumps in. Amar goes straight to it, the BKB. They're going to try and blow up the Beastmaster, trying to lead the damage into him, but it's a little bit slow with the Wukong's command. They ensure it pretty easily with the Tombstone out as well. This part of the fight, this area is OG's, but Fnatic are outside of it.
DJ
and they're going to play.
Back.
They're going to go back in perhaps. No. DJ. He was behind them, but it looks like the rest of Fnatic called it quits. They said it's not worth it. Let's not fight into this Tombstone any longer. The trade-off was not bad for Fnatic at all. 1 for 2.
Yeah, especially with the late Rosh, as you said. I think they're happy to get these BKBs used and on cooldown. That was a Wukong Undying Tombstone anchored fight. Probably the worst case scenario for Fnatic. And they still get 2 supports off the back of it. Jabs was pretty tanky there, man. This little armor plus the Frost Ogre is adding up.
Yeah, I felt like
he even went an extra buckler.
Did he miss a Melt Strike or something? I felt like he took no damage initially.
There's some extra Radiance mischance, perhaps, depending on
I
when
think that might have been it. I did not see a big melt hit. And I was like, is there an Evan Talbert or something? We'll see. We'll watch it back. Because you could watch. Jab's HP did not go down very quickly. Uragi jumped.
Tickling him here.
Oh, he missed! Oh, man. I mean, not that it really changed too much. Ultimately, he died. And I'm not sure if Uragi could have killed someone else.
Probably not. That fight's going to go the same way. But you can see the power of this armor adding up for Fnatic here. This is worrying for OG because their physical is not going to scale to an insane amount in the next 5 to 6 minutes here, which means, are you just giving up the Roshan? Are you giving Aegis to this Alchemist who's suddenly going to be at your base, smacking your building?
Well, we're about to find out. Roshan's going to spawn right now. A little bit surprised he didn't go for the Acid Spray, grants armor to allies. I feel like that is a kind of natural, like, not a counter, but it's a small answer to, like, Wukong's command.
Yeah, but you want to sit in the Wukong and see how
you
want to create a damage test here? I don't know. Palos, the other games we saw him play this out, he took this damage for Greedle Street every time. It's a significant amount of damage. Combine it with the Brigand's Blade, and suddenly you're getting a free Sacred Relic every hit.
All right, so OG
that Aegis.
Give this Roshan to Fnatic. Surely that means that they think that there is a better timing for them to fight. Like, do you feel like they can just push this game to outscale the Alchemist because they do have sort of 3 cores farming?
In theory, if it goes very late, yes, I think OG's cores kick in, especially if you're talking about, you know, Dragon Knight, Ags timing, Mjolnir. These types of items are going to make it hard for Fnatic's itemization to just push through. I'm not sure they're going to get there at this rate, though. Like, Fnatic is hitting a huge timing here on the back of this Alk. He got his shard as well, extra Berserk Potion coming in. Again, let's say Fnatic take a fight where Wukong gets used, Tombstone gets used, no one gets caught in it, Fnatic can reset. That's high ground scenario.
Yeah.
Like, right there. And I don't think you're taking that fight into the Aegis.
And maybe that's a big reason why OG didn't fight for that Roshan, because they have to be super careful about what that team fight looks like. As you say, if they try and execute and they don't actually get the kills required, they're going to have Fnatic banging on their front door. In fact, they're going to go for it right now. Knock, knock. Anybody from OG home?
DJ might give him a warm welcome. He's looking with the Hawk Vision, Force Staff and Blink. He will be happy to toss anybody back here, force himself back out.
Yeah,
very
OG,
scary
they
defense.
see that Hawk and they played the distance away. They're gonna try and slow down. Ooh.
Early BKB.
Yeah, that's kind of awkward. Palos is like, okay, you stunned me. I'm still gonna go. Chemical Rage is about to wear out though, so it's about time for FNATIC to reset. Don't think they want to fight without that one. I mean, they still have plenty of time at the Aegis. I feel like there's no
it's
rush
up
here.
at 20, another Chemical Rage.
Yeah, they might as well just chill, wait for the next creep wave.
They do see this DD in the river. Armel
They're
going for it.
both gunning for it. Armel, he's not going to go for it. Or, sorry, Armel picks it up. Amar does not go for it. In fact, he's going to maybe get caught. BKB, turn around, but he's not going to get a kill. He's just going to, oh, he can't TP
Doesn't
out.
have it.
He
30
can jump
second
to the trees
cooldown.
here in a second, but the coil catches him. Perfect timing from Armel. Timed it perfectly with the BKB
Awkward
wasting out.
fight.
And now there's still a fight going on inside the base, but BZM, oh, unstable concoction going out from the Rubik, keeping this Alchemist controlled for now. The Terroride's going to go and push the Templar Assassin back at the same time, but the range barracks is already dead.
Tombstone
Palos is thinking
just
about
gone.
going for more. The Tombstone's on out with no Amar and no Tombstone. Much of the team fight is just gone here for OG.
This is Rax for sure. Aegis still up for 2 seconds. Chemical Rage going to wear out, but I don't think Palos is afraid of much here. No Wukong, no Tombstone, no ability to pull this out deep into their base either. That's a free Rax, and there's no reason to let up.
Yeah, there's still 2 minutes left on this Aegis.
Exactly.
I mean, if you didn't stop them before, how are you going to put together the team fight to stop them now?
All right, there's some damage.
Yeah, it's definitely coming out. Okay, second life. This time he'll have the Chemical Rage as well. But FNATIC, Amar is coming back up. I feel like this could be an opening for OG.
They chain stun it right, pull the Alp back in with a lift. They do have the burst. He will
Found
die.
the
They're
strike
gonna
on it
try
too.
it.
Here comes the Dragonite initiation, but defensive Force Staffs. The Alchemist was already facing away, so FNATIC had a pretty clean way to reset that fight. And, well, that just means some abilities put on cooldown like that Dragon form for nothing gained.
Time to farm the map. Let Greevil's Greed go to work. Get to your next round of items where you're too tanky for OG's damage. Jabs working towards a Lotus. Going to be amazing versus the single target stun chain that Chu has been trying to pull off. And very quick Force Staff from DJ as well. They know the only way OG wins a fight is if they pull this Alkin and lock him up. More time for Armel to clear the map. He is going to scale into late game puck territory, which is scary in any game to say the least.
It's not Paladin Sword. Yep, it was. Paladin Sword drop for FNATIC. That is a huge pickup for an Alchemist.
Very happy with that one. Strength Blink online as well. Damn. He's a lot tankier than last time. And again, this Frost Ogre still going to work here.
Yeah,
a
I
lot
wonder
of
if this
EHP.
is the same one from
Yeah, it's probably his brother.
10 minutes
you know?
ago. Yeah. His younger brother. 13,000 net worth lead for FNATIC. OG, you did hear Avery talk about the fact that they can go late, but will they actually get there? FNATIC may just slam the door shut, leave no possibility for OG to play a 45-minute Dota game and just take them out in 35.
Keep the Hawks in mind. DJ can still go aggressive here if he sees the opening, especially with OG showing on this bottom lane, TA farming it out. FNATIC know OG does not have their full lineup here. Here's the pull-in.
Pulled them in a little bit, but they still do not have their Undying.
He's trying to buy Wraith Pact right now. He's letting the Philosopher's Stone tick up, finally gets it.
Ooh, what a reaction there from Palos.
That's another Rax down.
Another Dragon form used.
Again, FNATIC's not trying to end the game off these pushes. They just want to bring OG back, stop them farming, and maintain their vision control. OG has no real good plays outside their base that aren't going to be obvious. Here's that 5-man smoke.
Are they just
FNATIC
going to
should
go
be
straight
very
to
ready.
the triangle like this? Look at DJ's positioning. He's ready to pop that smoke. He throws out the avalanche, but Amar's a little bit quicker. Though, at the same time, DJ
quick
did blink
fingers.
backwards very nicely.
Oh,
he turns around. Nice toss back. At the same time, the Dragonite goes for the initiation, but it's Palos who comes through. Does manage to kill the Undying first.
Armel's
Armel
out.
almost dead, but he's going to jump down to his orb. Bramble actually hits the Monkey King, but he does manage to land. The Wukong's man onto Jabs. He's going to be terrorized, pushed out of it. Tossed over to the Beastmaster.
Two-man
Now dead. Palos hits the two-man stun with Coil. On top of that one, they're going to work on the TA, or trying to, but TA's able to man fight up against Palos. Right? Isn't quite enough. The regen's coming through. They're kiting out this TA. Palos keeping away. DJ, he's just gonna man fight the Templar Assassin. Let Palos live, and DJ gets the kill. Palos cleans up the last one. 4 dead on the side of OG. Buybacks not available for most, and FNATIC look to just keep their foot on OG's throat.
DJ using vision to the maximum there. If he had gotten that 4-staff tree cut, I don't know, that would have my goddamn mind. But the blink outs, the toss back, the combinations, DJ wasting so much of this Monkey King's time, forcing him into bad positions. Armel dancing with danger, narrowly escaping multiple times. The team fight coordination, beautiful from FNATIC. Cannot ask for more. Again, it's such a forced and easy to read move from OG, but they don't really have a choice in this game.
FNATIC keep it going. They're testing the waters, seeing if this Templar Assassin has a buyback. Spoilers, he does not.
Tombstone dropped early here just to try and dissuade some tower hitting. I don't think Palos cares. He's happy to take up the extra gold.
Oh yeah, he is. Working its way through this tier 3. 12 seconds left for the Templar Assassin. OG just trying to stall it out. And FNATIC, they say, we're so far ahead at this point in time, there's no point in trying to force this too much. The TA's back up. We'll respect that. Respect the fact that OG are a very good team fighting team, and fighting into their high ground with a full 5-on-5 is dangerous.
The saving grace for OG is this Bloodthorn on Yuragi. We are seeing the damage come out to this Alch with the extra crits it give. If all of OG's cores end up on this Alchemist or this Puck, they will destroy them in barely any amount of time. This is the one way FNATIC needs to think about losing these fights. If they think about that, they prevent it. They are in the driving seat for sure.
Which is where maybe this Lotus Orb timing is going to be super important.
Yeah, if he can dispel this Alch in the middle of the fight, prevent some stuns, reflect anything. Another 5-man smoke from OG. FNATIC should be reading this, smoking around themselves. They can let the lanes do the work here.
Oh, absolutely. They just get themselves onto the high ground. OG, they're going to be forced back eventually. The creeps are pushing into their base. Yeah.
This is why these moves are so hard. FNATIC, just be patient. Let the creeps give you the vision, get the information. You're in no rush here. Another Roshan spawning in the next few minutes. Scotty on this Alchemist. 3,300 HP with over 30 armor. Good luck.
Another late Roshan. So FNATIC probably going to be a little sad about that. But, you know, in a winning game, maybe it's a psychological advantage to just hang out here, enjoying, savoring the potential victory. Crowd certainly loving it.
You see some of this OG itemization, respecting the armor, trying to go for these Mjolnirs. They have one on DK, they have the DK Shard, they have this Bloodthorn on Yuragi, and even Amar building a Maelstrom into Nullifier of his own. OG trying to itemize to deal with the mass amounts of physical resist that FNATIC's pumping out here. I just wonder if it's too little too late. Even Quiver on this TA, trying to get any sort of hybrid damage they can to pump into this Alch. Again, it's all about the jump and the burst for OG.
Okay, OG.
That's where DJ can just mess with them entirely.
Let's see if they learn their lesson from last time. They just tried to go straight up to the high ground in this triangle area, and FNATIC once again in the position, they get their tree cut onto the Monkey King. He's going to be chain stunned, in trouble. Armel shows up, and they get the burst damage. A 1-for-1 trade-off, but immediate buyback from Artiny. They go back to the Tombstone, deal with that, and now look at a chase after whoever from OG is still outside of their base, and that means Chew. Chew, well, Armel actually looking for more. Missed the coil. Eventually, they do get Chew in that jungle area.
This is Roshan.
Yeah.
Monkey up in 30. Maybe they have another time to smoke out. It's going to be very close, but this DK form going down. Brilliant tree throw grab from DJ, just picks up a Mars tree and turns it against him. That's the power of the vision that FNATIC's had this entire game. OG buying back the Rubik. They know if they let this Roche go, it's GG.
Look at FNATIC just refusing to leave this area, forcing OG time and time again to fight on a low ground area. So disciplined. They know they have the advantage. They know OG has to come out and contest this Roshan, and they just sit there lying in wait. Lying, waiting for their opportunity to take what is essentially a very advantageous team fight. When you've got that kind of vision and the high ground.
It's this Refresher Shard. So you're looking at potentially double coil. maybe double roar. Depends who they want to give it to. I could see either being pretty effective. The double roar versus these OG BKBs could be absolutely devastating. This is pretty much the last team fight of the game up here if FNATIC wins it. So where does OG choose to take it?
They're not going to the Roshan pit. So that means likely they're just going to have to wait inside of the base. But they are holding around this ward. They think maybe FNATIC's going to slip up in positioning here, and they can catch somebody.
FNATIC not slipping anything. They just smoke through.
Yeah, just a 5-man smoke. Look at them. So disciplined. Just sticking together as 5. They can't lose a team fight. That's the way they feel anyway. BKB going off from Amar's. Palos tries to go for the initiation. They do manage to get the puck. Like, Noob's not if they can get it. The Berserker's supposed to try to help him out. They're turning around. Roar goes out onto the Alchemist. Jazz now throws his own Roar against the Templar Assassin. They have the Wukong's command out. They're trying to focus down Palos if they can. The Beastmaster goes down next. DJ jumping in and finishing off the Templar Assassin, but Palos has already taken the damage. His first life is dead. DJ barely getting out outside the Wukong's command, but Armel gets the coil onto Amar. He no longer has BKB. Palos going to show up on his second life and easily deal with him. The unstable concoction gets the extra stun onto BZM as well. They're letting nobody from OG get out of this one alive. They're going to chase after for more and more. DJ avalanche off the mark, but it doesn't matter. Chu's going to die next. They spawn Taiga. He TP's away successfully. OG gonna have to use the rest of their buybacks, and they will still be left in a 4 versus 5.
Double core buybacks for both teams here. Puck and Beast had the buy for FNATIC, a costly teamfight victory. That said, they are pushing the last racks here, and OG do not have Wukong, they do not have Tombstone. There it gets dropped, actually. I don't think they can defend this without Wukong.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much of their damage. What a beautiful initiation. The toss back, and there goes Mar. Dead 80 seconds, BZM. Curse Crown stunned up. Yuragi's trying to find an opening to get some damage in, but he just can't do it. BZM just beat to a pulp, and Yuragi's just sitting there watching. Throws some damage onto DJ, but DJ again and again and again. 2-man stun. Toss backs all over the place. FNATIC, a clean victory here. Off of what was a bit of a shaky start the first 10 minutes, but the last 25, clean as hell for FNATIC. And look at Armel, FNATIC enjoying. They love the crowd that is behind them.
1-0 indeed. Another win for this Palos Alchemist. You have to think OG is going to think about this next game. Nobody has been able to stop it. Even with the rough lane phase, even with the start this Monkey King had, OG unable to take full map control. FNATIC too sneaky on the side lanes. DJ ratting top, the Beastmaster ratting bottom. Sure, you give up a couple of kills here or there, but at some point, that armor itemization, the frost armor, there was not enough for this Templar Assassin to punch through. You're gonna need a bigger stick.
Yeah, you're gonna need a much bigger stick, or maybe just ban out the Alchemist. We'll see what OG chooses to do as we head into Game 2 right after this break.
In Dota, an instant attack is an ability that instantly applies a hero's auto attack. They ignore attack speed and the natural cooldown that comes with the regular auto attacks, meaning that you can use them between attacks to greatly increase your DPS. Some instant attack abilities consider evasion, others pierce through evasion entirely, which is a huge buff to whatever hero has that instant attack because it means that you don't have to waste an item slot on MKB. All instant attacks, however, do not trigger effects that react at the start of an attack, because there is no start of the attack. For example, Juggernaut's Blade Fury Shard does not proc Untouchable, making the hero an insanely strong counter to Enchantress. Instant attacks do, however, trigger effects that react the moment that the attack hits. So, if you swashbuckle a Centaur, for example, you will take a lot of damage from Retaliate. More importantly though, most instant attacks do actually trigger attack modifiers. This means that if you have a basher and you sleight of fist a crowd of heroes, each hit will individually roll to bash the unit. This is precisely why basher has a 2.3 second cooldown, otherwise Ember Spear could pretty much ravage the entire enemy team on a 6 second cooldown. Where these instant attacks get really fun is with some of the more interesting attack modifiers in the game. For example, with a Satanic plus an instant attack, you can pretty much heal yourself to full HP whenever you feel like it. With the Battle Fury paired with an AoE instant attack, you can exponentially increase your damage so long as you do a bit of trigonometry. Since Cleave is based on where your hero is located at the moment of the attack landing, you can, for example, angle Abaddon's AoE miscoil such that you do an absurd amount of burst damage to the unit in the very back of a group.
흔들리는 나의 눈빛 모두 알고 있는 걸 아무리 숨겨보려 해도 가려지지 않는 걸 I'll never miss this chance make it dance 해가 뜨는 것도 모르게 Dance time to dance 집에 가는 것도 까먹게 우거진 너의 하얀 불을 좋아해 움켜진 문제들은 모두 가볍게 손 들고 태워 이 순간을 빨갛게 녹여진 분위기는 뜨겁게 아무리 어렵다고 해도 시작하면 되는 걸 처음이 어색하다 해도 이미 익숙해진 걸 I'll never miss this chance make it dance 해가 뜨는 것도 모르게 Dance time to dance 집에 가는 것도 까먹게 우거진 너의 하얀 불을 좋아해 움켜진 문제들은 모두 가볍게 손 들고 태워 이 순간을 빨갛게 녹여진 분위기는 뜨겁게 우리 둘이 눈을 마주보고 춤을 춰보자 우리 둘이 두 눈을 마주보고 춤을 춰보자 I'll never miss this chance make it dance 해가 뜨는 것도 모르게 Dance time to dance 집에 가는 것도 까먹게 우거진 너의 하얀 불을 좋아해 움켜진 문제들은 모두 가볍게 손 들고 태워 이 순간을 빨갛게 녹여진 분위기는 뜨겁게 우리 둘이 두 눈을 마주보고 춤을 춰보자 우리 둘이 두 눈을 마주보고 춤을 춰보자
The first game of FNATIC versus OG here in the Arena of Stars at ESL One Malaysia 2022 goes the way of FNATIC. OG did try really hard, and to be honest, at the start of the game, it looked very good for them. We saw the aggressive tri-lane at the start, and they tried to shut down the Alchemist that way, but one missed fight, and that's all it took for FNATIC to be able to find their footing in their game, and they were able to turn it around. I'm joined on the panel with Effie, and we still have Stormer and Matrim. Did I pronounce it right this time?
Yes.
Yes, all right, there we go. Okay, what did you think about this game? Because we did see OG having a good start in this one.
Yeah, OG actually had 4K lead, which against Alchemist you can consider as a bigger than 4K lead. And like I feel like same happened to us actually in third game yesterday. We dived tier 2 mid, jumped on the hero.
Exactly the same.
The fight didn't really work. It could work, but Alchemist yesterday survived very low. Today Puck also like 1 HP, one missed hit by DK because of Radiance on top of this, and FNATIC just turned this game because of this tier 2 mid fight. It's insane how like one fight completely turned the game.
Yeah, I must say, the fight that we see on the screen here, Stormer, I kind of thought that maybe some OG magic was at play to still have a comeback, but by that time, they were maybe a bit too far behind.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's kind of sad that one fight can change everything. But for me, it was maybe two fights. It was one time the dive on the tier 2 mid where Puck literally survives on 10 HP. Very unfortunate. There was some Radiance miss going on as well that almost would have killed the Puck. And who knows if the Puck doesn't get the spell, so maybe OG does a good move. But that's Dota sometimes. Very frustrating moment for OG, definitely, after having such a dominant start. But basically after that fight and then the failed tier 1 defense on mid lane, OG's, FNATIC just got too big. Like, Palos just had too much net worth after that and did Alchemist things. Yeah, tough comeback, but shout out to FNATIC. Like, coming back after such a tough laning start and like earlier in mid game, like, is impressive.
It is very impressive.
And not just that, the Radiance got changed recently, right? From 10% mischance to 15%. So we can maybe attribute Puck living there to a simple change in an item that maybe wasn't even weak. So it's pretty curious, but unfortunately for OG, giving away that first Aegis like that was not working for them because that TA did not have a BKB ready to fight into the Radiance Alch timing. They just give it a couple of kills and all of a sudden the game spirals out of control.
It does indeed, and we talked a little bit about the mid lane. We weren't entirely sure who was going to show up against that Puck in the mid lane. Turned out to be the Dragon Knight. Very old school matchup, Stormer. You enjoyed seeing that?
Indeed. I mean, very old school. I mean, both the Puck and DK, I think this is a matchup you know since like so many years actually. Like the DK with the Dragon Tail and tower pushing. Once again, like the lanes all worked out for OG so wonderfully. I feel like they actually had the edge on the draft. It's just really from that one slip up that happened and it all bounced back. Like in the end, the scaling of Puck and Alchemist, like these heroes didn't really get touched by the last patch too much in terms of their scaling. And yeah, we can just see like the longer that game went, I think also OG slowly but surely realized, oh god, we gave this game out of our hands.
Yeah, they did indeed. And we discussed a little bit Metremuda MVP would be this game, and there was quite a bit of discussion. Because you make a case for any player, right?
Yeah, usually as a coach I don't name the MVPs. So yeah.
I mean, it's hard to put this game. I feel like. But in the end, it probably goes to Palos just for his stable play and the good old Radiance miss. Good job.
Of course.
He got the 50% at the right time.
Radiance is MVP.
Radiance is MVP. Right.
Radiance was
Alchemist players don't deserve MVPs. I'm just kidding. No, he played a really great game. To come back from a start like that, I mean, tri-laning into an Undying in and of itself is very questionable, but to find your entry point back into the game, regardless of all the obstacles you faced, the 12-minute rush by OG, I mean, that was really impeccable stability coming out of Palos.
Yeah, and especially to do that as a stand-in. I mean, this guy, you know, shows up, has to play instead of Raven. That's big shoes to fill, by the way. And he is able to hold his own in an aggressive tri-lane against him, specifically for him. And he lives. And he has Radiance when it is much needed for Armel, allowing the comeback fight to happen for FNATIC, because that fight really spiraled everything out of control. Do you feel like there was another moment, maybe, Metrim, that you thought maybe OG can make a comeback, or was it kind of over once Alchemist was able to get his footing in the game?
I mean, mostly it was about one fight, but there was a moment when BZM also overstepped on middle a little bit, like he died, gave Puck a bit better game, even though like Puck was not destroyed, but DK did very well against Puck mid, and then getting this kill actually matters a lot. Like
That's true.
It doesn't show immediately in the game, but you can feel it later on that Puck got more networks even than the DK. So yeah, this small things are very important also when it comes to mid lane and mid heroes.
And not just that, right? I want to talk about the dynamic of having this Beastmaster in your draft when you make a comeback fight like that. All of a sudden, this TA does not have the BKB. She's not ready to play into this pressure from FNATIC once they get that net worth swing. Once they're pushing down these tier 2s, OG have to give up so much on the map simply because of what this pick gave them. So it worked out nicely, I would say.
It really did.
Beastmaster against Amar. What can you do?
He called it.
Insta win. I mean, I believe it was banned out against you guys, right? So we heard in the post-game interview, DJ said all you have to do is ban out the animal heroes, and I would imagine Beastmaster is one of those. So they removed it from the pool. We talked about how the overall last pick, Jabs, and his flexibility was going to be key in this series. The Beastmaster was key for FNATIC this game, and he might not have been as flashy as Armel's Puck. He might not have had the Radiance to cause the mischance, but Stormstormer, he definitely was a cornerstone for this squad.
And Beastmaster is just such, like, this hero never changed. Like, this, once you get ahead with this hero, you have the Hawks, you have the Roar. I mean, it's really mostly about those two spells in the end that you get the Vision and the BKB Piercing Stun. I feel like it's the entire draft coming together. It's the Alchemist, it's the Beast, the Puck, this triple scaling core is just, once you do one mistake, you really get punished for it. And OG had the upper hand. If they don't do that one mistake, I think they would have gone away with the clean 1-0 here. But Dota is a very, very punishing game for the mistakes sometimes.
It really is, and of course there will be a game 2, and perhaps even a game 3 if we're lucky enough. Obviously, FNATIC fans are going to hope for that 2-0 that we also saw on that sign. We are going to, of course, have a break before that, but while we're having a break, got a task for you. You, of course, earlier saw a video by Jenkins, and he surely said a lot of smart stuff. And if you want to test your knowledge, there's a lot of different questions, I believe. If you want to test your knowledge, you can check out esl.gg/DHL Pro Tips. If you fill in the answers correctly, you have a chance of winning a €250 Steam gift card, so make sure to check that out. And another thing to do while we have this break is get yourself some fresh merch of your favorite teams or ESL at shop.eslgaming.com. Make sure to check that out. And we will see you back for game number 2 of OG versus FNATIC.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Whoa, I can't touch it, baby.
Welcome back. It's game 2. OG FNATIC with OG 1 game down. And they're, of course, looking to force that third game out of FNATIC. We're finding out if they can with the draft they got in mind. And we are already a couple picks in. So, surprise, surprise, bringing that on my panelist. I'm joined by Effie, Metrim, and Stormstormer. And they are going to tell us what they think about these opening picks and who they feel has the upper hand. And I know normally I have to talk a little bit. Analysts normally want to look at everything, but Metrim, do you already have a little bit of an opinion formed here?
Oh, sorry?
What do you think?
I think OG decided, okay, we've tried to be flexible, pick some heroes we used to play, but not that much. Didn't work. Okay, let's come back to our normal strategies. Just throw in Razor for Amar, even though it's a little bit nerfed. Throw in Shaker for Tiger or Chu. They both, I believe, can play it. And let's see. Like, I imagine that first game was a lot about that they didn't feel that comfortable. They died this tier 2 mid because they are not sure if like progressing into the game is fine for them. With Razor and Shaker, they might be more used to play like a long game, and Damar can even like, become second or even first carry. But FNATIC also answered with Squab, which was very good for them right after patch. They like this hero, and it's kinda okay answer against Razor and Shaker as well. Let's see how it works.
Yeah, in general, just to get back to the point with scaling, like in general in Dota you feel so comfortable if you're just scaling and you have the better late game. And it always feels like tough in those spots where you play basically a flawless early mid game, you do one mistake and then you lose the game. So yeah, it seems like they're changing up with the Razor Shaker opening. I'm trying to think, who has second pick? Who has the last pick here? I'm trying to figure it out.
Last pick OG,
last
because
pick
they
OG.
have 15.
Yeah, okay.
But
So
it's not just that, right? We talk about on panel time and time again how in these game 2s, these potential eliminations, you just kind of resort to comfort. It feels simpler for your players. It makes it so that maybe you can recover mentally a little bit. Like, how significant do you feel like going for comfort here for OG is?
Comfort is always important, but you shouldn't get into the trap that you like. You shouldn't be scared as well, right? Like, if you get too scared of like playing, I don't know, a little bit like experimental here, so you might get a bit too stuck on your comfort, and if the enemy figured you out, then they can punish you for that as well. So you need to kind of find the balance. It's pretty tough, and it's honestly like one of the toughest things to discuss between the games. Like, do we change with the draft, and if we do, how much do we change it up? In the end, it always counts, of course, if the team's comfortable with what you picked. I do think that, like last game, like OG felt good for the first half of the game or something like this. It really just came down to gameplay execution and one or two mistakes. It's funny that FNATIC is now also banning out the Alchemist. Like they just feel like this hero makes the Dota so easily, and they don't want to play against an 18 Alchemist. This hero is still like popping off so much, and yeah,
yes, they don't want to pick it into Razor as well, so
that's
they decide,
true,
okay,
yeah,
let's get rid of this hero. But for FNATIC, it's also a very comfortable draft. Like Tiny, according to my list, is the best DJ hero in this tournament. And like the Squab also, I do think that OG have their comfort, but FNATIC as well. And FNATIC's heroes looks kinda good so far against OG heroes.
Crystal Maiden stock has been rising today. Obviously didn't win earlier on, but it did have some good showing. Solo killing a PA, always nice.
Oh really? Oh, we didn't see that.
I've seen Papi killed.
Oh man. Maiden Bloodseeker, that's a strong lane. Bloodseeker also an old school counters the Razor, I think. Like Roger counters Razor the entire game. I'm also curious about this OG Willow pick on 15. Like now we see it the second time. Like this random 15 Willow pick. They have one setup done with the Shaker Fissure, I guess. Tiger is playing an excellent Willow, I think. Oh baby.
Oh, the BZM Invoker. We like that. We really like that.
That is pretty sexy.
And as an Invoker specialist, Stormstormer, you were the only one first phasing, or Metro was the only one first phasing Invoker for you. How is this for an Invoker? How is the matchup against the new Queen of Pain?
Definitely, like it always used to be a decent matchup for Invoker. You can even play both Quasvex or the XL version against Queen of Pain. Invoker in general feels a bit nicer this patch because there's no easy camp, and Invoker never used to really profit from that camp too much. So I think BZM is going to go into this matchup very confidently. If he decides to go XL, which he, I think, generally prefers, then it's pretty nice setup already with the Willow and the Shake on one lane for the Sunstrike. And also Alacrity on Razor is one of the strongest combinations actually, like almost any hero dies in the beekeepy duration. So yeah, I like this confident pick. I think it is BZM's top 1 hero, if he gets to play it.
So we haven't really discussed this Willow, but this hero has made a bit of a re-emergence, and for the most part, we've seen it really excel when it's comboed with some of its old school things, right, like the Mars. But in and of itself, as a hero, I worry that it's too much of a one-dimensional kind of thing, right? It disables, countered by BKB, does damage, but it's just far too squishy.
Actually, now that you mentioned the Willow, actually one of the most old school combos is Course Vex Invoker and the Willow, because you do have the tornado set up into the Brambles, into the what is it called? The one ulti. The Bedlam, exactly. So that combo can actually 100-0 any hero during the mid game. So that is actually very interesting also. I like it if that could be a reason for him to go Course Vex actually. Templar ban, well, Uragi Specialist, also good against Tiny and Queen. Arc Warden.
Interesting.
Yeah, don't forget about that hero. I guess Uragi loves to play that as well. Beastmaster ban. They're getting it out on OG as well.
That was a mark goal, definitely.
Almost as get the freaking Beastmaster out. So ultimate last pick again for OG, right? So what are we looking at for Fnatic? They got Bloodseeker carry, Queen of Pain mid, so they're picking a Jabs hero offlane again, and it's so freaking tough to ban it against this guy. He plays anything, so what could it be even?
Probably some ranged hero, but they could pair Tiny with melee hero as well.
Does Uragi ever play the Razor? It's almost always Omar, right?
It is.
Yeah.
So they're probably not too scared of laning the hero against Razor.
So far it's a very good Bloodseeker game.
Yeah?
I think Invoker does anything that much against Bloodseeker.
Once he gets to his BKB timing, it's incredibly strong. Still trying to figure out what they would last pick for Fnatic here.
They just need something basically to adapt mid-game.
Does he play Lycan at all? That's like 1 more 0 2-hero.
Yes, yes and no.
Yes and no?
Yeah, I've seen, I think, 1 Lycan game last 6 months or something like this when I was preparing for them. As I said, Jobs can literally play any hero, but some heroes, they need some practice. So Lycan is not the best hero to pick on the stage probably if you don't have enough confidence.
Well, OG is taking all their time to figure out the ban. It is tough, but I mean...
I would feel the same, honestly.
It's, yeah, I mean, we were clueless as well.
Like in the end, I would be like, okay, let's ban some random Venomancer.
I mean, I can mention all the heroes that he's played this event, but I'm looking at this list and it's like endless. There's so many heroes still in the pool that he could go
You're
for.
only looking at the list he played on this tournament.
Yes, I am, yeah, and it's already very long.
If you look at like his 6 months or something, heroes he played, it's insane. I mean, they think, probably OG just thinking what they want to pick on 24, so they're gonna ban a hero which probably gonna be counter to the hero they want.
What about Pangolier Fnatic? I actually like the Pangolier of Visage.
No, go for the Visage.
Oh, dang.
So I was actually going to mention that Fnatic do have this tendency when they're playing against things like Razor to try to zoo it up, right? That's why you see the Beastmaster ban. And Visage on Jobs is a very high comfort hero, and they do have this tendency to last pick it. It also gives them vision control on heroes, of course, that you need. We saw how important and significant the vision control was last game. So that just fits playing with Queen of Pain, I think. You can scout around with the birds, and you have this hero who can just potentially blink in and have this BKB timing just blow up the heroes on OG.
Very interesting pick for sure. It's if the Visage gets to scale, also it's really hard to play Razor into that, as you mentioned. Like the summons, usually Visage gets to level 12 or level 18, the Razor cannot really just simply run in anymore as the birds just kill him. And Uragi Ember last pick once again. Well, so it is Amar on the full +1 basically on the Razor scaling. And usually Uragi tends to make some space with that. I wonder what the Ember against Visage Tiny Lane is like with the Shaker, I guess? Or the Willow. Interesting last pick though.
FNATIC drafts, like they have insane amount of damage actually. Every hero, like you look at their position, like from +5 to +1, like all heroes provide a lot of damage.
Is there one draft in particular that we favor for this one?
I quite like Fnatic's draft, honestly. I like the Bloodseeker versus the Razor. I like the Visage and how they play it on Fnatic usually. I think the Queen of Pain BKB will also be very significant because there's a lot of control on the side of OG and damage, but it doesn't really exist from their supports, who I do think need to scale in this patch as well when the BKB hits. So, yeah, I believe.
All right. So we're not going to have a game 3 according to Effie. Are we going to have a game 3 after?
I don't know, Emperor on side of OG always makes some magic, you know. On Arlington Major, BZM did so much. Can Yuragi do the same? I don't know, maybe he does.
Maybe
so,
he does.
like, if he can do the magic on Emperor, could be okay game for OG, but I do like Fnatic drafts a bit more.
I gotta be Invoker biased. I'm gonna go for the BCM. I'm just gonna keep it simple. I do hope it's an X-Out Invoker, but he might go for the Quasvex route. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, it's a bit spooky. The BKB timings from the Bloodseeker and the Queen are definitely pretty strong. I'm a bit scared of that. But maybe some Sunstrike on some nice chains or something like that, and Invoker can pop off. I'm rooting for my boy.
All right, let's find out how game 2 is going to play itself out. We're heading over to Cap and SPG.
At the end of that game 1, Armel gave us a 2-0. He thinks they're going to be able to bring down one of the best teams in the world, and it's just a flat-out 2-0. And they have had a magical lower bracket run. But still, OG, I mean, they've been the second most successful team this season. You really think they're going to go down like that?
Especially in the lower bracket, right? They made that whole run at the Stockholm Major. You can never count these guys out. It seems like when their backs are against the wall, that is where that patented OG magic comes out to play. They're gonna need a little bit of it this game. I can see this Jabs Visage with Wraith Pack just killing their poke-oriented lineup. At the same time, BZM Invoker, Amar Razor, and the OG Shaker on Chu. I mean, you can't really get any more I mean, the Taiga Dark Willow, every hero for them is pretty much signature.
It sounds to me like when it just comes to the individual player-hero combos, you favor OG, but on a strategy side, it seems like you really like that Visage last pick.
Fnatic's going to hit a very nice timing here. Again, the Wraith Pack Visage seems incredibly strong versus an Ember Invoker lineup. These are heroes that kind of want to poke you down with the fissures, and then at the same time, if you have damage problems and Fnatic can get some sustain going, could be pretty annoying. That said, every time I doubt some of these lineups, OG find a way to make it work. They find the Echo Slams, they find the big Terrorizes, and of course, these Sunstrikes could skew the laning phase. It's something that BZM is specialized in, this Exhort Invoker, his favorite style of playing this hero. OG has some setup on these side lanes from their supports. They could even go early chains points. This is something to look out for. If the trades start happening in these side lanes, heroes are getting low, all of a sudden, boom, Solar Flare from nowhere.
Yeah, yeah. And it does look like OG set themselves up for a pretty good laning phase. They've got a ton. I mean, this is a lineup that just doesn't really look like it's going to run out of fighting power. It's not going to run out of damage. I mean, this is a lineup that can brawl and team fight near constantly. They really don't have long cooldowns that they have to wait on.
Absolutely not. Again, I think every time OG gets Razor, they feel like they're going to outscale the enemy.
Yes.
Even if it's not true, they feel like that. That's part of the value of the cover picks the panel was talking about. They just think at some point Amar will get to BKB, Refresher, Lincoln's, AC, whatever his choice is, and then he just becomes an unstoppable machine. The biggest tool Fnatic has to deal with Amar this game is this Palace Bloodseeker with the Rupture. That is a very important spell in these late game scenarios. That's not going to be the easiest to just throw out there, especially if Amar ends up with the Lincolns.
But is he going to be able to deal with the lane where it's not just a Razor lane, it's a Razor Earthshaker, so the lane, the equilibrium is already being pulled back. So this lane could become very long and very much to the favor of Razor in that regard. He likes it when he's close to his own tower and he can chase you for a long time. Earthshaker enables that.
I can see him having a pretty good start and already linking up Januel, pouring in the damage. Bloodseeker Maiden is also a lane that shoves the equilibrium out very fast. You have the Bloodright, you have Crystal Nova, 2 AoE spells that disrupt it very fast. Chu doesn't even necessarily have to play for the pullback. It's going to happen naturally over the course of this lane. And then, like you said, if Amar hits level 3, they can potentially look for a kill off Fissure. The upside is Fnatic can chip him down, make sure he doesn't have the HP pool to just man up into this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, it's already kind of looking that way. Amar not looking super healthy, but they do manage to get a hard camp pull off. You can see this Visage is kind of terrorizing. I mean, that level 1 nuke is so dangerous, and I feel like it's so easy to get to the 3 levels of Soul Assumption to get the max damage out.
I mean, this spell is the strongest burst in the game on the laning phase level 1.
Yeah.
The 4-second cooldown, you get 2 or 3 of them off. No one's living through that. And Jab's trying to put it to use, so they really want this first blood.
It's going to do a lot of damage to Yuragi here. Might just be a nice slight dodge, but it's not enough. DJ will claim it with just a good old bonk to the head.
That was DJ not even skilling anything up for that kill. Just level 1 getting the job done. A huge first blood for them because, again, Jabs is committing a huge amount of mana to get this first blood. He needs the payoff, sacrificing some CS to make it happen.
What about our mid lane matchup? Invoker versus Queen of Pain, but an Invoker that goes for the Exort build early on. Hold up, Chaps might be in some trouble here. Really nice brambles into the chains as well. Oh, that Dark Willow almost dies, but instead the Shadow Realm go off and finish off the Visage, and Taiga can keep his distance against DJ. There's no abilities available. DJ tries to get him. Taiga playing games with him, and he gets it. He baits it out with the Fairy Fire. Now will die to the tower. Nobody's getting his experience.
Beautiful Willow gameplay on this top lane. Getting Yuragi back into this lane after the first blood. Making Jabs and DJ have to TP out here. The upside is Jabs will get the mana refill. Bottle refill for mid from DJ. Just landing the brambles. I mean, it's not necessarily the easiest spell to just blind land like that.
Well, it is easier now that the activation period got buffed up.
You know, back in my day.
Back in my day, those brambles were a whole lot harder to hit. Look at that, Taiga baiting it out. Had the Fairy Fire the entire time. Didn't even pop it before he got hit. Frostbite into Bloodright. This is that constant harassment that you were talking about. Keeping the Razor low enough, keeping him around that 50% HP where he doesn't feel good enough to be able to static link and really challenge you. And it's working well. Bloodseeker's at 17-3, top CS in the game right now.
I mean, he has some help, right? The trades in the top lane, great for OG. The downside is Palace gets another 100 move speed down here with the boots on top of it. Lamar has no chance to just link him up and create a damage differential. So FNATIC kind of winning this bottom lane off the trades top, even if they're not the best. And here's more harass.
He uses the slide, so there's no chance to dodge that Soul Assumption.
I mean, FNATIC's almost happy to let him sit down here on the low HP.
Yeah.
He has no, okay, Taiga has salve, but it's not super effective. Just look at this Bloodseeker's move speed, 430 on brown boots.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Chu not in position to be able to get a good Fissure block, so that's going to be another static link, kind of wasted.
Difficult side lane for Amar here. He is just getting spammed down.
Top lane again, Yuragi. Oh, Flame Guard not blocking enough damage. Now the toss back, Taiga.
Is a Shadow Realm.
He has a level 2 Shadow Realm, in fact, so. Thought maybe you would go for the maxed out Brambles in this game, but no.
You don't want to feed too many kills as Visage. This is a hero who arguably uses early levels better than almost any other offlaner outside of Beastmaster, maybe.
Yeah.
He starts getting to a fast level 6, Ember falls behind. This might turn into an issue for OG, and DJ does not want to give Yuragi anything on this lane. Triple wave with range creeps pushing in with the flag bearer. They can do some harass here.
Trying to get the denies.
Get some denies. Or nothing, you know, sometimes.
Sometimes you just don't quite coordinate that deny and the range creep well enough.
Still, this level differential is perhaps the most influential for this game. Visage is high and Ember's behind. This safe lane Ember does not function for being this far behind. And Amar, he's not having much of a better time.
There goes that Bloodright. Are they going to chase him down underneath the tower? No. Good Fissure block comes out from Chu. Does bail out, but Jabs at the same time. Looks like they got aggressive. They'll kill the Visage. DJ can do nothing to stop it. In fact, he may even die as well. The Shadow Realm's going to do a lot of damage here. Toss back onto Yuragi, though, will save DJ's life. The real threat would have been another slight.
Absolutely huge kill to get this Ember. Again, every time I think he's out of the lane, they make some kill, make it happen, and get him back. Ember's levels are incredibly important for OG's mid-game going in here. He's going to be the big tempo setter in terms of when does Yuragi want to join the fights and what his itemization is. Already with the Orb of Corrosion tells me he wants to fight early.
Everybody is so low. The Bloodright's going to go out. Chu's just going to turn around, do what damage he can. But Palos, he collects the kill and reaps the blood. He goes back up to a healthy position.
6-minute rune, DJ securing it. This is level 6 on Quab.
Not quite what you were really wanting to see. Arcane Rune, DD, anything would have been a little bit more effective for fighting.
Look at the Dior, though.
Yeah, that is nice. Sunstrike, first one attempted of the game from what we've seen. Not enough to land, but it is just enough to get the kill anyway. Yeah, underneath the tower they get it. Meanwhile, the dive in the mid lane, they try to go for the kill on BZM. DJ's the one to die instead. A couple more hits. Chu thinking about the deny, but it looks like the Quas will outdo the Shadow Strike damage. And BZM will be fine.
Big kill to survive there for this Invoker, getting that Sonic Wave out of the game.
I kind of feel like FNATIC have slipped up a little bit. I'm not sure if I agree with them letting this Visage just hang out and dry. I mean, this guy, we were talking about how he was doing so well in lane early on and how a fast level 6 could be massive, but they've just kind of been leaving him by the wayside. Instead, trying to put pressure on mid. Here it will pay out. They'll get a kill on Chu. Armel's going to take some damage here. Blinks to the side. No Sunstrike.
Solid dodge. I tend to agree. Ideally, you wanted to keep this Visage in the lane and not have OG be able to turn that lane around. The upside is if you're getting the kills mid and accelerating QoP, you're probably happy with it.
That's true, yeah.
The fact it didn't connect, yeah, Fnatic feels bad about that one. But Jabs is still having an okay game. I mean, you expect to maybe die once or twice on his Visage. He's a trade-oriented hero. You're okay not having the smoothest early game as long as you get those levels. He's half off 6 here. The downside is Yuragi gets a lot off it. Like, he is level 6 now, got his boots up, highest net worth for OG. He's having a very good game now.
Yeah, and Ember's one of those pretty decent heroes for holding a safe lane tower, right?
Yeah,
Gonna try and go for it. The Fissure into the Brambles, into the Sunstrike for the blink away. No, the Cold Snap, it caught him, but the Sunstrike still wasn't enough damage.
He wants the rune.
He does want the rune. Chu's gonna ensure that the bottom one cannot go to Armel. The top one picked up by DJ, but he doesn't have mana to really make a move. Well, he does have 7 Magic Wand charges and a Clarity that just got flown out. Maybe he can make a move here.
Another D-Ward for him.
Very nice.
Fnatic just owning this Vision game in this series, it feels like. These D-Wards add up. Remember, you're getting less XP now. Means a lot for supports.
Sunstrike! Not quite on the mark, but still get the kill. The Rupture's gonna go out, but I'm not sure if Palos can really go for it unless DJ
Razor
helps
hits
him out.
hard.
DJ is gonna be here with the Avalanche and the toss over to the side with the Rupture. That'll wait him out. Palos collects the last hit. There's gonna be the Shadow Realm hit. Palos gets a little bit low, so he's not going to try and chase down these supports. He does have 20 Magic Wand charges though, so should be fine to play the lane still.
Nice rotation from DJ. Secures this Rupture kill with the toss back damage. And he's going phase boots again. I wonder if this decision is just about the nerfs to the toss range, being able to close the gap faster. Interesting itemization for this tiny Armel.
Shadow Realm going off in time, dodges Shadow Strike. Armel, no real threat of dying just yet. Thanks to Janwell coming in and filling up that bottle again. This is going to be a constant combo. Toss back into the Rupture. I mean, they have been showing a lot of strength with this Tiny.
Oh, they love this hero.
The toss back last game was the toss back Coil Snap. This game, Rupture.
I mean, and give DJ any AoE stun, I'll believe in him.
That's true, yeah.
The displacements have been perfect in these games. Another Rupture here, toss back
If
online.
he can get the toss back next to the tower, it'd be pretty nice. Underneath the tower, Amar will die. Palos down to half health, but not shy. Looks for the supports, doesn't find anybody. Once again, OG trying to get aggressive around Amar, but Fnatic seem to be putting a lot of effort to keep him down.
Yeah, this Razor's having a rough one. I've seen Amar farm his way back from some slow starts. Like I said, though, this is going to be hard into that Visage ball with the Rupture constantly online. I mean, Palos doesn't have to Rupture much else in this game.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen Amar have this slow of a start on a Razor.
Yeah,
right?
usually
Like we watched like the
dominates.
Timber Saws, something like that, you know, like okay, slow start, but he comes back into it. Razor, I feel like he almost always dominates his lane.
I think it was just a product of the fact there were so many trades happening on the map. This Bloodseeker was 400 plus MS all the time. He has Crystal Maiden nuking out the lane for him.
Smoke breaks, Fnatic retreat, even though they were the ones in the high ground. It was 2 supports just running into each other on both sides. But Fnatic, a little bit skittish. Maybe there were some heroes off map they were afraid of.
Both carries trying to hold their safe lane here. As you talked about, Yuragi's done a decent job of just maintaining his control here, not letting Jabs push too deep. He still has the Catapult Wave, and Armel trying to force the Ember out of here to secure that. Meanwhile,
Palos being chased down, and he has nowhere to run to. He's blocked in from the trees. Finally, an aggressive move from OG with Amar that nets a
Here's the
kill,
Ember.
and we'll be able to find another one too. The Crystal Maiden's gonna be Slight Chains, an easy Fissure block from Chu. Nice maneuver there. And a huge difference, right? I mean, Quap rotates top, the Ember Spirit's there. There's no way you can kill that guy. Yuragi's like, okay, I'll see you later.
yeah, makes the most of the situation. A nice breakdown of the laning phase here from OG. Even giving the tome to Yuragi, saying, your levels are going to carry us through this game. We believe in you. Wow. Level 9.5 on this Ember. He is set up to do a huge amount of work this game. Mithril Hammer online. Maelstrom up next. Jabs will get the tower trade. But ideally, Fnatic doesn't want to lose their Bloodseeker in that type of scenario.
Yeah, especially since he's been snowballing so well. Still the top net worth in the game.
Oh,
and a
TJ
late
Armel.
TP in.
You might have saw
Armel?
that off the plasma field.
Yeah, the plasma field was kind of close, but I don't see OG like scrambling for it, so maybe they don't know. But DJ and Armel gonna go for it. Terrorize being threatened, but look at Armel. He's getting the positioning, hits the Sonic Wave. The Terrorize does land, but Armar, he's taken out for the Shadow Strike. They do manage to get the deny. Yuragi, very nicely played. Nice, just run in. Ace Drew, Echo Slam straight up on a DJ with a block out of Fisher. Armel is forced to blink away. So pretty decent. I mean, sure, Amar died, but it was a deny, first of all.
Yeah, dies to his own team. FNATIC get nothing out of that co-op rotation. Ideally, that's also why they wanted to defend that safe lane tower, because Armel can get a good fight off the back of that tier 1 with the Sonic Wave coming in with the turnaround. The fact that he got that tower is kind of what forced this awkward attempt by Armel in the first place. Bringing the numbers again, Ember and Shaker really pulling in the mid game for OG here. Yuragi controlling the map beautifully. Maelstrom online. Shu has Arcane Boots and Tumbler Toy.
Now, BCM, we see that hand of Midas on him, so that is something to just kind of keep in mind that you know, with the current state of game, especially if they can start getting some Sunstrike kills for BCM. He hasn't gotten a single one yet.
Yeah, he's just going to shove the waves out, throw in the Sunstrikes. He's the real carry of this OG lineup. In my opinion, it's always late game. Exor Invoker is terrifying, especially in the hands of this man. He's just going to gear up for that late game. Or perhaps play with Ember. He's actually got drums on the menu.
Oh, interesting. The boots of travel kind of expected, not the drums.
Yeah. We'll see what they decide to do. Maybe they just feel like this Ember's having so much momentum. Why not just go skirmish, take the fight to FNATIC before their Super Ball's online?
And when is that Super Bowl going to be online for
Well, I say
FNATIC?
Super Ball, and it's kind of just jabs. I mean,
yeah, it's just mostly down to his Wraith Pack timing.
It's them grouping around this Visage with the Wraith Pack, bringing in the Bloodseeker off the back of the Quap and the main damage. When I say ball, though, it's more about FNATIC getting that 5-on-5 where their damage goes to work and the Bloodseeker can come and clean up. That's when he's really going to pull ahead on the map. That's where Maiden shines. That's where this tiny displacement shines. OG can play the map. They can split them apart, abuse this Invoker bots Midas with the Sunstrike threat. It lets Amar catch up in the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some heroes with some special mobility. They've got really good skirmish power. These like small little 2-on-1 fights are going to be really good for them.
Yeah, this is the exact type of poke they can do. Fissure, Bramble, Slight, Sunstrike, see you later.
What can you do? What can you do?
That's the poke power, and Armel doesn't want to let him just get away for free.
They do have DJ coming in from the side. In a nice avalanche, and Taiga is going to be targeted, tossed up. Should be finished off with a blood right. Not quite enough damage, though. Oh, the Sonic Wave will certainly finish him off. It also hit Yuragi on the side, who's now going to be ruptured up. He does have a spirit to go back to. The threat of the meteor is going to force Palos back. The Visage is still jumping forward, though.
Another
Drops a couple birds. Yuragi inside the blood right, trying to walk away, gets out. Somebody's dead. A huge Echo Slam from Chu, but it's not quite enough to finish up. Maybe the tornado. It's going to be low on damage. Armel survives through it. Look at Palos running forward, but into the hands of Amar, who wants to be able to grab him, but he can't quite do the damage. Denied. John Well and DJ combo up with the help of Jabs, and they roll over OG. Triple kill already for Jabs. BCM, in fact, running for his life, teleporting back to Fountain.
Absolutely destructive team fight from FNATIC there, abusing this Wraith Pack to the maximum. DJ getting at least 2 to 3 combos off there.
They will get the pick off on the Crystal Maiden once again.
Sometimes you got to throw a little back, you know, so you don't get too cocky. I thought that rupture on Yuragi was going to be rough to commit into, where he just remnants back and then says, "What's up? What are you going to do?" But OG choosing to re-engage with Amar TPing in, and it's going to cost them dearly here. A huge fight for FNATIC. Again, the 5-on-5, when they group up like this, they need to get something out of it, turn their Bloodseeker online. That's exactly what they wanted.
Also, huge power this Visage, right? The fact that you could just go and fight Yuragi underneath his tower. Like, he goes back like that. And look at Jabs. I mean, we know Jabs. This man's a tower diver extraordinaire. He will never shirk from a fight underneath the enemy's tower.
It's power of the birds, too, getting multiple stuns off in that fight. You can just run him in. There's not a lot of Gravekeeper break from this OG lineup unless Yuragi's playing ham.
And look at Palos, just turns on a dime as soon as he sees Amar and barely gets out. I mean, that kind of fast reaction. He's a little bit slower. He easily just goes down there. But instead, both him and Armel barely stay alive. As a result, FNATIC really lose nobody in that fight. It's just a 5 Crystal Maiden. Who cares?
That fight's big for their supports too. Tiny, CM are 2 heroes that are really going to use these early levels to maximum potential in these engagements. Especially Crystal Maiden. This is a hero where if you die in the fights, you can fall behind. John Well getting in there, getting some extra XP, push him up to level 8. DJ, he's at 1,800 gold with Phase Boots Tumbler. He is pretty far.
They know he's here right now. They had the successful scan on him. They just don't know, did he TP out? What
Trying
happened?
to catch bottom on Armel. Gets chained.
Uh-oh. Chained up into the Terrorize that's coming in. Hits him before the blink away. Very nicely done. DJ, meanwhile, was setting up for a kill on the top. They're going to turn around with the BZM Invoker here. Do a lot of damage to that Meteor, and it's going to be enough to get the kill. At the same time, he got the toss-up with the Rupture, so maybe Palos can collect and kill in the two. If he does, can he heal up? He can. Not enough damage. Now, one by one, FNATIC stumbling into this one. Jab's going to show up, but it's him against 4.
Is this the fight for you?
Familiar's going to be able to bail him out. No way.
Don't
A big
think so.
member from OG shows up. FNATIC. They saw the fight bottom, and I guess they thought they could make a move to top lane, but the BZM Exort Invoker denies them everything. That was effectively a team wipe.
Telling you, this Exort Invoker's the real carry in this game. You have to respect the damage this hero can output. Meteor absolutely decimating a hero right off the bat. The right click coming in with this alacrity. Wouldn't be surprised to just see him put it on himself this entire game. The amount of right click this hero can do, absolutely absurd. And yeah, Armel dying bottom, he's their biggest damage for all these early fights.
Yeah.
FNATIC just chain feeding one by one into what was a very awkward engagement.
Fisher, Meteor.
Look at the burn.
So much damage, and the toss over to the side was nice, but I think Chu had like a full magic wand. Yeah, he pops it there. Doesn't even come close to dying to the Blood Right.
And imagine there's a Wraith Pack down here and there's some bird stuns or something. Maybe Palos can man up.
Sure.
I mean, maybe he felt like with BKB too, and I'm pretty sure BZM got a Dragon Scale stolen out of that as well on the side.
Oh, really?
So maybe some extra neutral item damage being done.
Bad goes to worse for FNATIC.
All right, Blink online for DJ now. It's going to make team fighting a lot easier, and they're closing in on this Bloodseeker BKB. Probably the most important item for FNATIC right now to actually let him commit to the fight when the damage is being done. But he's just hiding, man. He does not feel safe on this map, and for good reason. OG were smoked on his triangle.
Yeah, they got a nice aggressive ward down. I think he placed the ward. Yeah, he didn't put it on directly on the high ground, so this is that, you know, if they just throw a sentry up there to check it out, they won't find this ward.
OG's got some good vision, which feels like for the first time in a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
And I like this bots on Yuragi too. Like, this is gonna combine well with the Invoker bots, just playing the map, splitting FNATIC up. We saw in that scenario, if one FNATIC member dies on the map, suddenly that team fight is just broken.
Yeah.
Double bots makes this very hard to push out the lanes. And now FNATIC, they're in a situation where they feel like they need to jump this Ember, get him off the map.
Gonna be able to get this, the Blink Dagger. Oh.
Illusion bait might catch him here.
Ragi. His illusion is going to be able to scout things.
Yeah.
He spots DJ. DJ blinks backwards. Really nice sense there from Yuragi. And meanwhile, Jabs, okay, he also has the sense here that something's not quite right. Can't really show himself in the mid lane for too long.
OG corralling FNATIC a little.
Yeah, they are.
And at least forcing Armel to show here, which means FNATIC's not getting this 5-on-5 they ideally won at this time period. This is where the Visage is super strong. Now he's going to have to kind of farm his way to AC, his next power spike. That's a lot of time. These double bots, the Invoker Midas, Amar Razor are going to go to work. Like, you're going to get out farmed here if you're just going to trade the map.
Yeah. This is why they have to finish up that BKB so they can take back some of that map, right? They can't be afraid of OG.
This is not a Roche you want to give up if you're FNATIC.
Yeah, but they may not have a choice in the matter. I mean, it's a little slow from OG considering everybody's hitting it, but FNATIC are not in a position to contest.
It's just gone.
Yeah.
Smoke too late from FNATIC here.
Yeah, they were just sitting around there tier 2 for too long. Finally go for the smoke. It's going to be too late. Jabs throws his familiars out there. They're not going to be there in time, though.
Jabs trying to take the fight.
Yeah, they're down to half health. Now, Lamar does have his BKB. He's going to go for the challenge immediately. Going to be ruptured and Sonic Wave. Takes a lot of damage. He goes for the TP out. He's going to be fine. Meanwhile, that back line, a lot of damage there. Yuragi jumping away, TPing out as well, but he dies, and it looks like Palos is here to be able to clean up.
So fast.
They all got so low that Palos was sped up, able to just run down that extra hero. So, I mean, FNATIC, you can see it. They can take these fights even into an Aegis.
That's ideal scenario. Rupture on Razor is debilitating for OG's lineup. There's no counterplay to this. He just has to stand there and take it. Sonic Wave pushing him back, dealing even more damage. A good way to salvage the situation for FNATIC. They can also attempt to deward some of these ops around their triangle, regain some of the map control while Ember's dead for 40.
Yeah, they could D-ward the sword that Sean well spotted earlier. Where is Chu at when it comes to his item progression?
He's got shard. He still has that Tumbler Thor, you know, the mini blink.
All right, nice. I'm just wondering because I feel like he's the big setup for the Exorts and Invoker's damage. Fisher not going to come out in time, and honestly, with a Kaya Sanj and another Ogre Club on top of that, that is not an easy kill. He's 2,200 HP on top of Magic Wand charges, so yeah, they would have to do an insane amount of damage, and just 2 supports certainly wouldn't be enough.
Mel being tanky in this game is, it's going to pay dividends later on. Like, if you imagine this co-op getting to a point where she has Satanic plus all this tankiness, the shard online, is just blinking around, silencing people. OG's burst is good, but I can see a situation where he gets bailed out by some sort of interrupt, some toss, suddenly reset the fight, and suddenly Armel's just carrying these late game situations. He can kite these OG heroes around. I think OG won a strike right now. They have the Aegis.
They're going to catch Foutless here, not let him get off his BKB. A nice chain stun with that shard pick up with the Earthshaker. A toss back though on a BZM. That's pretty decent, but do they have the damage to finish him off? Armel's gonna have to blink backwards here. The Curse Crown. Oh, what was that? He didn't throw the damage on a BZM. He doesn't want to throw through that Aegis. He's focusing on the Ember Spirit instead and almost got him.
DJ got him.
DJ counts in the end. Blinks ahead of a Mars Plasma Field and gets the kill. Now he's on the run though. Tornado's gonna catch him and they will run him down. DJ says that's fine. I did my job. I got the kill I was looking for.
He'll even trade with Taiga there. Fnatic inching victories out of what looked to be a disaster with Bloodseeker just getting burst right off the bat.
Again and again, these DJ initiations are fantastic for Fnatic.
2 steps ahead, quite literally.
I mean, he gets the opening on the Invoker and he catches the Ember Spirit on the jump back. I mean, we saw it from his Nyx Assassin yesterday. This man knows where to be in the right position to hit those big stuns.
That's worst case scenario for Fnatic. Their Bloodseeker getting killed right off the bat.
Yeah.
That's the power of BZM here. He's looking to do it again.
Might happen again here. The Earthshaker with the shard, the Fisher stun into the chain stun of the Enchant Totem. It's a really good way for BZM to get meteor damage in before Palace can get off of BKB. And once the Bloodseeker's low, like if he's not feeling healthy enough to actually go in and commit for kills,
this Tiny is just being super annoying because he's so tanky. OG don't want to really commit spells on this guy, and at the same time, he's destroying the fight.
Shout out to Jabs there, focusing all of his attention onto the Ember Spirit rather than finishing off the Aegis of the Invoker.
He did not care about resetting BZM's HP pool.
Yeah.
This Ember has so much control in the fight for OG as well. The damage adding up over the long run. It's really coming down to a game of if OG get the jump and can burst a good target, then they can take the team fight into all this AoE.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. You're basically relying on the net worth on these OG cores to just power through the damage, and good luck, you know, Rupture, Sonic Wave. It's a lot to power through.
Yeah. Amar's just focusing on being as tanky as he can. Now has a Heaven's Halberd, which is pretty interesting. Terrorize gonna come in, Pal's forced to use the BKB. Despite the fact that he had tons of allies around, put himself in a position where he maybe could have been bursted. So that's gonna be BKB on cooldown and an opportunity maybe for OG.
This is the global threat OG wants to play with. They want to use the Forge Spirits from the Invoker, goes pushing bottom, show heroes on different parts of the map for Fnatic, and set up with the Sunstrikes.
Yeah, look at this. Tiger's just going for it with the Sunstrike, and they got the kill!
What a monster.
Taiga with that killer instinct did not let that one go. He said his BKB's on cooldown. I got him.
Sets that up absolutely beautifully, and he's still up here. He knows this is the type of map situation OG thrives in.
They gonna catch him?
Trying to force another BKB.
Yeah. Armel, though, he won't have to use that BKB. I mean, again, we talked about how tanky he is. It's not the same as that Bloodseeker.
Pick him, pull him apart. Let the Sunstrike help you do the work.
And it feels like Jabs is struggling to be in the right place on the map because of what you're talking about, all the split push pressure.
He's getting dragged around for sure. The upside is he has been farming a lot.
Yeah.
My God, he is rich.
Most farmed hero on his team. And most farmed hero on the map still belongs to BZM, and I'm not sure if that's ever going to change. Thanks in part to that hand of Midas. Another big part is these Forge Spirits and all the split pushing that they're getting. It's just free farm.
Yeah, I'm pretty curious to see if he takes this new Chaos Meteor damage. This talent's been talked about.
80%.
This thing chunks, man. It absolutely chunks in the late game. You're also talking about more ways to break some of these stacks on the Visage. Try and cut through, because right now, who is killing these birds? Well, I'm not seeing it. It's gonna be a deep committal from OG, which is not necessarily the scenario they want to end up with. Again, they want to play this pokey type fight, throw out the fissures, throw out the slights, wear the Crystal Maiden or the Tiny down on a jump, and then get a numbers advantage for the big committal. They just get stuck on a man fight. I don't know if they're winning it through the rupture and how much damage mitigation this Visage is going to do.
All right, their Aura team fight is kind of out of control now. They've got an AC and a Wraith Pact on that Visage, so.
Toss back again.
Okay, pretty simple pick off here. Use the freezing field just to ensure the kill that much quicker.
OG just stuck in rat mode.
Yeah.
Net worth isn't changing still. You feel like FNATIC are getting more out of the map.
You think so?
I feel like they are. Just the amount of net worth this Visage is bringing in, the scalability of Queen of Pain in these games just seems absurd.
Oh, DJ! He caught him! And he has no mana to work with. Okay, he did have some launch charges, so he's got a little bit. He can jump to the Remnant and then still have a little bit more to work with. But Palos gets caught again. No.
And they're going to get the D-Ward. They can pry, find your target. Powell's getting caught off guard. This is how OG can build a lead on the map. They want to be finding these pickoffs, setting FNATIC's cores back. At a certain point, some of their team fight will kick in, right? That's Willow Shaker. So when we're saying this 5-on-5 wasn't favorable for OG in the early game, I think at a certain point it becomes easier for them. Just off the back of how much poke damage they can do, forces FNATIC to commit. You overclump once, you're going to get echoed, you're going to get terrorized. Suddenly you're in a routed situation.
Yeah, they've got some pretty big team fight spells. It could come in clutch. Terrorize, Echo Slam.
If there's one man I'd bet on getting an Echo Slam in this tournament, it's gotta be Chu.
I like how everybody plays around their own wards so much that nowadays, whenever you throw a sentry and you see an observer ward there, you immediately run. Because you know people will protect their wards.
Oh, you know what's sitting there. Bottom tower takes half damage off that.
Yeah, I mean, this rat is really going to work.
Yeah, even Yuragi TPing bottom just to force the wave in super aggressively here while FNATIC smoking through mid. Trying to catch something. DJ probably will.
Oh, blinks over to the side, does manage to get the avalanche, so Chu won't be able to get off any spells before he dies.
Yeah, just seal totemed over him for good measure.
Now, Jabs is alone here in the top lane. Can the two of these heroes do it? Yuragi's taking a ton of damage. All that physical damage, he's fighting into an AC, so the Visage familiars and the Visage himself.
This guy's indestructible, man.
Yeah.
I think Yuragi thought, all right, I'll poke him a little bit, show him what's up. And
I mean, he's got to respect that talent, right? The AC minus armor, and then plus the fact you get the armor corruption, you lose your armor so quickly.
And even if you start to wear him down, he's got the Gravekeeper Shard, he's got Cloak more.
Yeah,
I don't know how they're killing this guy, to be honest. It's got to be just some crazy good link. You burn the charges down and then chunk him with an Echo or a Sunstrike. If Jabs just front lines, it creates an obnoxious position for OG again. You can't poke this hero right now. You have to commit into him. OG doesn't want to commit into him because all of a sudden DJ's tossing you back.
What if he does one better than frontlining? He's about to complete that Aghanim Scepter. What if he starts the fight getting on top of a hero
take the front line to them.
Yeah, exactly.
He is a deadly force right now.
I mean, plus you saw that damage that was coming out on the Ember Spirit earlier. Now it's amplified even more thanks to that Aghanim Scepter.
Hex on BZM. This could be the key to let them burst a target.
Is DJ going to be able to respond fast enough? The smoke's going to break on the low ground. He blinks away. Taiga couldn't catch it.
Armel on the hill,
Scouting
scouting it
all.
all.
Blink back in. Look at Armel. Daring to, he's going to poke it then. He's got his BKB. He's got to be careful though. He's going to be chain done. No opportunity to force that board. The Visage takes a ton of damage as well. He pops the shard, but Amar is draining away all that damage. He's actually going to retreat. They're afraid of Jabs. They go for the toss over to the side onto Palos. A nice two-man chains coming up from Yuragi.
And he stuns.
Out, and he stuns. He Ogre Seal totems forward, but it doesn't stop the TP.
Amazing bail there from OG. They saw the Queen of Pain buyback and wanted absolutely nothing to do with that. Now Fnatic really wants this Aegis to make sure that this buyback wasn't in vain.
But I mean, OG, they can easily get here in position to defend. They're going to get the information off of Sunstrike.
Yeah, no rupture.
They're
No
throwing
CM
everything they
ult
can.
now.
They want to do this as quickly as possible. OG are closing in fast, but are they going to be
No
there in time?
BKBs.
DJ, he stops Amar, tosses him over the side. He's giving up his own life to ensure they can get this Roshan. The meteor's going to go out, rolls over DJ. The
Palos
Sonic Wave does a
committing.
lot of damage to Amar. Palos finally finished up the Roshan, but he's already so low. He's going after the kill on Chu with the BKB. He will be able to collect on that one. Now turns on to BZM. BZM off of the BKB. Goes after Januel. BKB does outlast the Bloodseeker. First line now
Hex
turns
on
around
Armel.
side, goes immediately onto Armel. Armar, he's trying to stay on top of Armel, but he can't quite see him into the trees. He managed to jump away. Jabs dropping the Vincent Familiars onto Amar and Yuragi, but Palos is getting low, and he can't finish off Amar. BZM's low as well. They're also low, but
Got
nobody
Bramble.
can come in on the side of Fnatic. Armel, he gets caught up in the tornado, but Taiga has nothing to be able to stop him from blinking away. BZM, Amar, both of them down way below 200 HP, but they still survive.
Look at this Invoker damage, man. He has Quiver, he has Hex, just standing his ground the entire fight. There's a reason this guy plays for the late game. He took the Meteor damage, absolutely burning them alive in this engagement. Untouched, lives through it all.
I mean, that was a super awkward situation for Fnatic. They had so heavily committed to doing this Roshan, but you could see with Palos not hitting it right
Palos
now.
wanted Aegis. He didn't want the fight. They get split up a little bit.
Yeah, it takes him
Cost
so
him.
long. By the time he gets it, sure, he gets Roshan, he gets the Aegis, but he's already pretty low, and he's burned through most of his BKB.
I mean, the most important thing here is there's no rupture either. Imagine there's a rupture on this Razor or a rupture on this Invoker. Suddenly the tossbacks do more damage. Fnatic can commit in the fight with extra damage.
That reaction, immediate sign the Vice onto Armel.
I mean, BZM is just a beast on this hero, man. The spell casting, the dodging in and out, ability to know his limits and stand his ground.
Oh, here it comes.
Jabs hunting.
Silent as the grave. Jabs makes his way across the map. Almost ran into BZM. BKB immediately going out at the first sign of
Fnatic has
aggression.
the flank, though.
DJ coming in from the side. They're going to try and deal with that big team fighter in Chu. And it looks like he could go down first, but DJ's going to trade out his life for that one. Immediate buyback from DJ. They want to be able to collect on this one. Yuragi chased away. Armel, they can't actually blink and stop OG from retreating. That buyback effectively worthless.
Another costly buyback from Fnatic here. Their economy getting worn down by this OG lineup that is just poking them, forcing them to commit. Sure, you're trading off supports, but not favorably. And these OG cores, they are getting to the late game where suddenly this tri-core is going to be very formidable in these 5-on-5 engagements.
Oh, DJ actually jumping in onto that Ember Spirit.
He's got a Deso.
Jabs. They're going to poke at him here. Careful of the Curse Crown. His familiars will ward off OG. They got to be careful with that Visage. They just got to go on anybody else, I feel like.
I mean, this Deso pickup is pretty interesting. It's not some like ultra late game item pickup you normally pick up for Ember. It's a earlier type, some momentum item.
Right.
He's just going to apply massive armor debuff for his other two cores to go to work. This is why Yuragi's such an interesting carry player. He understands sometimes when to play for his other heroes, let them carry the game, make them shine. I mean, Amar's got Satanic, BZM's got Octarine. He has all the right click he needs. Just apply the debuff, be annoying, try and bait some spells. The poke is real now.
Oh, it certainly is, and it is making it very hard for Fnatic to push outside of their base, because you never know when you're going to get Fisher stunned and Chain stunned, just like they're trying to go on the Visage now. They have to terrorize, but he's in his flying form, so he's going to be flying over the trees. Amar's going to chase after him underneath this tier 2, but he goes into the storm.
Palos on Invoker.
A bash and a Sonic Wave. It cleans up the Invoker, turning back onto Amar. He stole a lot of damage, but now without the BKB, can he actually play out this fight? Just one-shot DJ real quickly, but can he actually get away from Jabs, who's now back up to full health? Here comes Amar. He's going to turn back around onto Jabs, with Jabs keeping his distance, letting the familiars do its work, and they're going to pick and poke at OG, not letting them fully run away, but also not fully committing to the team fight.
Always that Echo Slam waiting in the back. You have to be careful of. Very nice go there from Fnatic. They get their Bloodseeker on top of Invoker. Probably the most important hero in these fights, and of course the Basher sealing his fate there on the TP out.
Yeah,
Jab's
that's a very important item pickup for him.
I mean, Jab's just baiting him in that tree line. Again, he is the tankiest hero. Ideal scenario for Fnatic is OG overcommits on this Visage. He has buyback as well. One of the few heroes who can come in and still do a decent job because he has no cooldowns.
And again, that stone form. I mean, you said, like, if you ever do go on Jabs and you can't kill him, he's going to go ahead, drop it in that stone form, and then you're just stalled out completely. It really feels like they cannot go for this Visage.
If you catch him out of guard and you burn the stacks quick, sure. And in a prolonged chase like that, it's going to feel bad eventually. Remember, this Razor is Satanic Razor. It's not the old style of Refresher double BKB.
Sure, yeah.
He doesn't want to take some super long extended fight. I mean, sure, he lasts a long time. But not if he gets caught by this Queen of Pain dagger. He gets slowed down. He will get kited out.
His timing is on that first static link. It's not on the double Eye of the Storm wearing you down bit by bit.
And the biggest timing for Fnatic in this late game is perhaps the Bloodseeker levels. We get up to multiple ruptures. He is building Refresher.
Yeah, that was the thing for me. When you were talking about the late game of OG, I was thinking, okay, but what if Palos gets to level 25?
Yeah, that's a big what if. He's a long way away, especially in the new XP patch. That said, if he does get there with the Refresher,
yeah,
it's
with
going to
the
be
Refresher.
absolute destruction here because OG cannot deal with these ruptures. They really can't.
Certainly not Amar.
No, he's you just tank him for the team and hope for the best at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no Lotuses, there's no Lincolns.
And that is kind of why he built that way, right? Why he went for double tank items into a Satanic as well. Like, he knows he's going to get ruptured, and he just wants to be...
Just stand there and fight.
Exactly. Stand there and fight and be the best distraction he can. Jabs, hunting around with that invisibility.
Aggressive positioning from OG here, trying to hold the high ground, hold their high ground ward, bait Fnatic in. They're not falling for it. Jabs, again, flying over the cliffs. He has Gem. Pretty hard to catch him off guard, and even if you do, he's not the target you want to go on here. And he has just been super farmed and super annoying this game.
So Fnatic, they know that OG's up there, and they've said, okay, we're just going to mirror you. You want to take that tier 2? We're going to take your tier 1 and tier 2 on the other side of the map. Ragi's going to look to defend, especially with the double damage he's holding on to. He clears out the creep wave pretty quickly.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
We're playing for next Roche here. It's a long way away, but that's what they're trying to control the map to do. Buybacks are going to be ultra important for this fight. Save your gold and make it count, or buy out and risk the glory. Not an easy decision in these types of games.
Good old Havoc Hammer is back into play. Jabs once again checking out that triangle area, checking for any wards. Let's see if he finds this Tinker ward, the one on the side of the map here. It's not the easiest one to get a good read on.
I mean, this is not a ward OG wants to fight on. It's a very awkward place for Dire to fight on this side lane on the Radiant side of the map. It's more of a pick-off ward. They want to see someone up here alone, be able to jump and burst them. Armel blinks forward even.
Yeah, he's fearless. With that Shivas, they're going to try and kill the familiars here. Resummon, only got one of them. But still, resummon is still something to work with.
Yuragi pushing in bottom, trying to reset this map a little, force Fnatic back so his rest of his team can regain the vision control, hold Roshan, hold the runes.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised they haven't tried to exploit that more, considering all the damage they got early on with the Forged Spirits. I feel like I would want to keep hitting that pressure point.
PCM's just been farming. He's almost level 25 here. He's got Hex, he's got Octarine, his Shard, Spell Prism. Again, he is the carry. I agree, maybe he could have pressured bottom a bit more with Forges at the same time. He wants to be with the team because he's the
finds
first.
the opening, he tosses over onto the high ground. Amar is stuck up there. DJ gives up his life to get Amar into a position that he's just going to have to TP away from. But the problem is, Fnatic, are they strong enough to actually move forward? BCM's also going to TP out here, and Yuragi should have a spirit to jump away to. So, yeah, Fnatic actually isn't going to be able to get anything out of that. OG, just a momentary reset for them.
Roshan has spawned here. No buyback on Tiny. Again, OG do not want to give up this hill. Gonna get the D ward. It's gonna require Fnatic to smoke out again if they have it. They have one on this Crystal Maiden.
Rosh is up, spotted by the Sunstrike.
This is not a Roshan either team wants to give up.
This is very awkward for Fnatic with DJ dead for another 12 seconds.
This is Ags Rosh. Ags on Ember here, a Razor is absolutely deadly.
I think Fnatic is just gonna have to give this one up. I mean, DJ is so important to them for the initiation and for utilizing the rupture.
Can't fight without him.
Yeah, you really can't.
It's just going to be a concession, which means I don't think you're fighting into this Aegis. Who's going to take the Ags here? It will be Uragi.
Yep.
Suddenly, Carry Ember, who was playing for his cores, now playing for himself. He's got Scotty, he's got Ags. Not the same beast he was a couple seconds ago.
This is an interesting move if they actually connect. BZM.
This is a cool smoke.
He's pushing out that bottom lane, and FNATIC off of that Roshan feeling like maybe OG's going to split up somewhere.
Oh,
maybe
they
we
see
can
Ember
find
mid.
something. They see him.
His Aegis,
Amar
though.
is hard to go on. He's got BKB Satanic Cheese. He's effectively got 3 lives. Instead, they go for the Earth Shaker. Blink forward, Armel finishes him off. Echo Slam immediately used by Chu, but Armel was safe with it. Used an early BKB, the side goes out into the Terrorize. With the Ember Spirit coming in hot, they're going to be able to take down Palos immediately. Jab's going to be able to fighting through this one. Ember Spirit sticks on to the Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, the ultimate going out from Crystal Maiden should be able to kill Taiga here. Freezes them out. Back over to fight in the river with a toss up in the air onto the Ember Spirit. DJ does what he can, but ultimately there's no damage behind him. Maybe there is. Sonic Wave. Oh, he has to use the BKB to be able to stay alive. Armel blinking backwards, staying alive ever so barely.
Palos
Meanwhile, Jab, here comes Palos.
them.
He's already finished up ECM, and Uragi trying to slide, trying to dodge, trying to jump over the rim. Somebody finish off this man. Palos jumps back and forth, and he dies. Uragi goes in, and no, he just finally gets burnt out. They finally get him a dieback on the Bloodseeker. They've caught Jabs as well. He's not going to be able to make it out. Chain's done for days at this point. OG. An opportunity to close out the game and push it to a game 3. The carry of FNATIC is dead. And they can force a buyback out of the other carry in the Visage.
Triple buyback from OG to convert on that Aegis fight. FNATIC pushing it to the limit here with the Bloodseeker buyback, which is going to cost them dearly. What a crazy fight to take in the river versus Aegis and Cheese. They did get that Shaker jump. So valuable. But now you're in a high ground defense situation. No Bloodseeker for 65. No Sonic Wave for 50. You're going to need one hell of a toss back here.
I mean, it may just push FNATIC into an unwinnable position, but at the same time, it was a team fight that they got a lot of buybacks out of OG.
They got 3.
It's like it simultaneously made the game harder, but also gives them a glimmer of hope. If they can somehow make a dream team fight work, with those buybacks being expended by OG, but DJ's being caught, and that is so important. Now Armel blinking forward, but caught immediately. The side double sunshine in. He's gone. He's got a buyback, diving into the fountain for this Crystal Maiden. Not going to be able to catch him. Plasma Field, it does. It's enough.
BZM the Maestro putting on a clinic with this Invoker in the late game. He's got cooldowns for
Look
days.
at Armel, he's waiting it out. He's waiting for the dive. He's waiting for somebody to get close to the fountain. It was Amar, but OG, they didn't go deep enough. Armel couldn't get the kill off of the buyback.
Jabs are tanky, but I don't know if you have the damage to defend your throne here.
Yeah, Palos is about to revive, but OG are going to retreat. They're going to respect it.
Or do they? I don't know if this OG team respects anybody in Dota.
They're going to go back
they want
in.
the
The
jugular.
four-man smoke, the reuse, and they're going to go for the Visage Familiar first.
There's
Chaining
no
him up,
flip
they're
here.
going for the throne. They have to actually come in. Where's Palos to be able to defend this one? The Aeon Disc protects Armel. Palos in the back line,
done.
getting demolished. Turn around Sonic Wave, but for what?
For a
Does
game
no
3.
damage whatsoever. It's a game 3.
God, these OG cores, this whole team is so skilled, so hard to beat these late game engagements when they get their items. Splitting the map, finding the opening. That Ags on Ember sealing the game, it felt like. The amount of jumps he gets off in that fight, living with the Scotty HP multiple times. This is why Roshan is so important, so valuable.
They never need a single hard carry because all 3 of their cores are going to scale. All 3 of them are capable of carrying in the game. And here in this position, an Earthshaker for Chu, Taiga on the Dark Willow as well. You talked at the very beginning, you said the individual player-to-hero combinations for OG, it's like all of their favorites. It's all of their signature heroes. You've got to respect that.
That was a hard game for the OG supports. Like, those fights are so hard. There's a Visage flying around, there's birds. DJ and Armel jumping the backline every single time. And they still had tremendous impact in this game, fueling their course to victory. OG pushing it to game 3 when their back's against the wall.
Just what everybody wants to be able to see. Malaysia, we're going to a game 3. OG versus FNATIC will continue.
right, guys, I've got OG here. We're gonna do the last hit challenge with Amar and Taiga. Taiga's stepping up first. We take Chen, we take Cobalt, the tiny Cobalt creep down mid to CS with for 2 minutes, and whoever gets the most last hits wins. So, Taiga, we've got the game set up. Let's watch you do this.
Let's get it rolling.
Taiga, do you feel like you've got this under control?
This is easy. I'll beat them off because I play Chen.
Under tower, under tower.
No.
Let's get under tower.
Okay, how much damage? Okay, I do 60. Oh my god, I missed the first one.
Alright, alright. Warm up.
The bind, I'm them the bindings.
One. Okay.
Does it count for denies?
No, we focus on the last hits. But if you want, if you can sneak it in, could work for the tiebreaker. Okay. 3. 4. Okay, catching up. All right, something different here. A pull to the side.
Nice plan.
All the way across.
Easy. Let's try it. Dude, I should get two last hits for each last hit again in the tower.
Okay, I hope your creep
Yeah,
will
half
be
a
alive.
minute. Yeah, let's see if the Cobalt
You have
lives.
one problem only. If your creep die.
Oh my god, my creep died. Oh my god, he's actually dying. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, Taiga, good attempt. Amar, he seemed confident about his next try, so we'll take a look if he can get that done.
Good luck getting one.
I hope you don't have auto attack. Okay, you have auto attack.
I didn't even know I had it on me. I was like, good luck. You're gonna miss this one.
I will miss everything.
Alright.
Your binds actually. It's impossible with your binds.
Dude, I play with this binding. It's not even my bindings.
I will miss everything. No way, your binds are so bad.
Not
Alright,
mine.
none.
That will not change.
All right,
anything.
that's one.
Oh
That's
my
two.
god. Oh my god. He's
Round.
cheating right now.
I'm not cheating. That's it.
Okay, 1.
Oh,
2.
Again, he's getting it. He's getting it. Round 4. Oh,
There you go. Okay, all right, that's it. We
Cheater.
have a
We have a
total of
cheater.
5. All right, well played, Amar. He wins out in the CS challenge, and Tiger's gonna have to try his luck next time. Now, Amar, would you actually CS with a Cobalt?
No. I will see us with Enfys creep.
All right. Well, we'll catch you guys next time.
Better let it go sometime. Don't let it stay on your mind. Don't let it stay inside. Gotta let it out with the sunshine. Maybe walk it out. Sometimes gotta scream and shout. Let them know that you're here, no doubt. Took a long time, but we here now. I know you're ready for the hardships. Know you're ready for the progress. I know you living your truth, but don't forget to always stay honest. So do a little dance, do a little wiggle. It's your turn. Learn how the universe works. Yeah, come on. Can't control the world, but I'm trying to control myself. Yeah, I'm trying to control myself. Yeah, we can't control the world. Yeah. But baby, I just can't hold it. I'm just trying to control it, control it. Yeah. We gon' celebrate like we never have. Slow wine with your better half. Never hesitate to get the bag. Money talks and we always chat. That's why hard work and dedication can get you to a better place, better space. You ain't got time to be wasting. But don't chase it. You can't control the world. But I'm trying to control myself. Yeah, I'm trying to control myself. Yeah. We can't control the world. What we doing? But baby, I just can't hold it. I'm just trying to control it. Yeah. Just trying to control it. Hey.
She be in the right place, always at the right time. Looking like a dream worth chasing. In my place, it be in the nighttime. Trying to come through and I say, okay, okay, okay. What else I'ma say? Sucker for a pretty face, okay, okay. And she always get away when I say, never help myself, pretty baby. She like 2020, always driving me crazy. She like spending money just as soon as I make it. Even with the drama, little mama, my favorite. She come with finesse and stutter steps, everything fresh to the death. She ain't gotta flex, she just say less. Come correct her, don't come at all. That girl done it all, run it all, window to the wall. Every time she call, it's a mission. It gon' be a trip, pay attention. I ain't even mad, she different. Just like sunlight in the distance, a little out of reach, ready made for the way. Cause the life is a beach, at least it's a mutual arrangement. If I'm being honest with myself, I wouldn't change it. Every time I'm with her, it's a mini vacation. Lose track of time like daylight savings.
We are going to a third game in this lower bracket match between FNATIC and OG. Can't wait for that, but we will have to wait. We have to break down the second game first. And there were a lot of things that happened in this game. It was very, very even for a long time. BZM getting a triple kill here definitely evened things up a little bit more, as FNATIC was edging a little bit ahead before that time. But it was very, very even, or at least that's what I thought. And I'm a pleb. It was minute 1, I think, and Stormstormer said, well, BZM won. Game over.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the CS on mid lane and this Invoker Queen matchup. So much depends on the first couple of waves. And I mean, from start to finish, BZM just had an Invoker show going right there. Like, I'm so glad that he actually went Exort, because if Vex, he couldn't have pulled off the things that he did in this game. Especially because, like, I think Amar had a pretty tough start on his Razor. He was, like, I think, number 6 in net worth or something. Invoker was top net worth, I think, since minutes 10 on or something like that. So yeah, just a beautiful Invoker show. Hype for game 3.
Hype for game 3 indeed, and you know, we're jumping a little bit ahead here, but I think it then also shouldn't come as any surprise that we want to nominate BZM for the MVP, because we don't see Invokers that often. We see him a couple times, but it was definitely a masterclass.
And he definitely played really great, but can we talk about the chain feed that occurred? I mean, there was some 1-by-1 dying. So there was a full FNATIC team wipe without it being a team fight. One hero walked in and died, then Bloodseeker walked in and died, and then Crystal Maiden walked in and died, and then Jabs was like, I'm here too, and then he died. And if that hadn't happened, I think FNATIC had a really nice play in the mid lane where they kind of collapsed around the Invoker. They got away with 10 HP on the Queen of Pain. The Bloodseeker got away as well. I feel like if they continued that kind of momentum, they would have really slowed down BZM's snowball. But he found those good kills. He got himself back into the game, and he completely outscaled FNATIC.
He outscaled him. He's the MVP. Is it the same thing for you, Metrum? Would you also say it's BZM for the MVP?
Yeah, for sure. Like definitely BZM when he reached this timing also. Like level 20 Meteor Talent with a shard, with a hex. Like he completely destroyed. Just was the matter of time. Like they managed to survive early game, like with this chain feeding by FNATIC. Yeah, and then like they just needed to buy some more time, basically. They managed to do it.
They managed to do it indeed. And let's talk a little bit more. Let's not call it chain feeding. It was a little bit miscommunication. Maybe one fight was definitely a little bit back.
Effie is getting brutal.
I mean, what do you call it when people go in 1-by-1?
Helping your friend syndrome.
Yeah, save your friend syndrome. Sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you want it to. FNATIC definitely also put up a fight though.
For sure. I mean, they were even like considered to be ahead for a bit. I mean, Invoker was top of the charts, but still Razor had a pretty tough game, and I think Yuragi on his Ember also. I mean, he had a bit better game, but actually both silent scores of OG were struggling a bit. So if FNATIC would have maybe done 1 or 2 mistakes less, let it be that fight on top that Effie mentioned or something, and they maybe get like a Roche with the Bloodseeker BKB timing, then I think they could have ended the game before BZM gets his time, because this Exo Invoker, it popped up, but it also popped up because FNATIC gave them the time to pop off. It needs some items, it needs some levels. They got confidently to that new level 20 Chaos Media Talent, which like one-shots everything. And yeah, it's scary to play against them if you cannot finish the game early enough.
Both games kind of feels like the team who has a better play game timing, because meaning like they're just waiting for this one big mistake, and it happens somehow. Like both games, first game Alchemist, second game is Invoker.
For sure.
Yeah. We saw some, the big Roche fight, of course, was the one that kind of propelled OG into victory. It was still the Aegis going the way of Palos, but then basically everybody died. That Roche fight, Effie, was that for you also the turning point for the game?
I think there were a lot of turning points in that game, but that definitely was one of them. I also wanted to highlight the Dark Willow performance by Taiga. He did a lot of cool things. He came in so clutch so many times, but also when he forced that Bloodseeker BKB with the Terrorize and then stayed in the trees, they assumed he took it out.
Cool play.
Yeah, he waited until Bloodseeker finished the wave, and then he just solo kills them, sets up for that one Sunstrike, and it felt like he was always doing these really cute things around the map, and it really added up for OG.
Yeah, and we had a couple of questions, at least there were a couple of questions in the green room about the Willow, because we see Willow a lot post-patch. Messer, what do you feel about the hero?
I personally don't feel that hero is like that strong, but at the same time it got some buffs, and Taiga is definitely like one of the best players in the world on this hero. He used to play it when it was like off meta. We could consider this as a meta for Dark Willow, at least right now. Like different teams pick this hero, so if not Taiga, then who?
Then who indeed? Well, the score is 1-1, and both these teams are no stranger to that previous major. They met in the groups, and it was a tie, and they did not get to break that tie. It was just in the groups when they met, but I think a lot of people will remember the Stockholm major when it was also a tie, and then OG took it home. And at that point, we all thought that they denied FNATIC the international invite, which they still secured, of course. But of course, FNATIC wants to get some revenge for that game in particular. Let's find out if they're gonna get it, or maybe OG will make it to the final day. We're heading to a break. We'll be right back with the game.
Am I wasting time? 'Cause I'm already gone. So long, can you stay the night? 'Cause you're the thing I want. I know you're feeling different when you're stressed out, but even with no makeup you still stand out. 'Cause no one makes me feel the way you do now, like you do now. The way that you move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy. It's electricity. Electricity. Whoa. It's electricity. Electricity. It's electricity. When it's late at night, I feel you on my skin. My skin. You're all that's on my mind. It's finally sinking in. You're it. I know you're feeling different when you're stressed out, but even with no makeup you still stand out. 'Cause no one makes me feel the way you do now, like you do now. Way that you move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy. It's electricity.
A third game is what we wanted, and a third game is what we're getting. It's OG and FNATIC, elimination on the line. One of these teams will make it to the final day of ESL One Malaysia 2022. Who will it be? It all depends, or partially depends anyway, on the draft that we're about to witness. It actually already has begun. We'll be on your screens momentarily. I'm joined by Effie, Metrim, and Stormer, and they're going to say a lot of smart things. Also, you can see that it's definitely still filled up here in the Arena of Stars. I hope everybody still has maybe a couple of hot beverage to make sure your throats stay okay, because there was a lot of cheering in that previous game, and I can't wait to see what we got coming here for this third and final game. We got an Earthshaker as the first pick. That's a crowd favorite, and that Nyx Assassin. I cannot wait for the chance. All right, so we got OG on the Dire, and they are going very fast, Storm.
Oh my god. Okay, so first of all, we got first pick and second pick switched up. Now OG has first pick and FNATIC second pick. Nyx Razor. Oh my god, Metrim, you love this combination. Denied picking the Razor from Amar, pretty clever. They also did this Nyx Razor against us yesterday pretty confidently. Definitely showed that they know how the heroes work. Into OG 8's Viper. So I think this Viper, I'm not sure if Amar played it after nerfs. I know that Taiga played it today even, which was very surprising to me. But I'm not sure if they played core at all anymore. I guess the option is still there, even though the mana cost nerf and the Nanatoxin nerfs have been hitting pretty hard.
You have the nosedive, though.
I guess you have the nosedive. I'm not sure if that's an actual thing that you would want to buy, but yeah, they might try to.
I think he played once.
Amar played once?
Yeah.
All right. Also, what I see is also what I actually realized after watching the draft of last game was that Enigma was banned in the first game, I think, but now in the second and third game was, I think, completely ignored, if I'm not mistaken.
It was second phase banned in the second game, but yeah,
okay.
normally a ban that you would see a little earlier on, but these two teams don't seem to prioritize it that much.
Okay,
Same for Queen of Pain, also got ignored.
Yeah,
I
True.
guess because of like they wanted to steal Razor basically on FNATIC, and OG they just don't raid this hero as much, and they want to pick Amar hero as early as possible because it's third game. No, you really want to be in your comfort.
Also, the Dark Widow finally being banned out. It was the 15 pick in both drafts for both teams actually on the 15 pick, so this time it's not an option, rated really highly. Now also, gonna be the question, does FNATIC actually ban out the Invoker after the show the last game?
I think they're comfortable playing the Nyx versus the Invoker. I do think this first phase Nyx gives them a lot of security in some of the heroes that maybe give them a hard time, right? The Invoker, the Willow, potentially the Queen of Pain that is still open. Just having this DJ hero come out so early, and it's one that addresses some of the issues that they ran into, should be pretty nice for them. The jabs flex, though, I feel like if you flex this Razor to offlane, it kind of varies from the style they've been doing, which they just last picked this really clutch hero for jobs. So I wonder how this is going to play out for them, because it is a little bit different.
I guess they do flex a 2+1 in theory, like you never really know, but yeah, they might keep it open. It would be surprising to not give the last pick to Jabs, because as already mentioned, like banning against the last pick can be such a nightmare as he plays everything.
Actually, I think it's like very high chance that it's Jabs here.
Go Enigma, FNATIC.
I think that's been the sentiment for quite a few people.
Well, you can be a fan of multiple teams.
You
it's
can
completely
be.
legit.
That is very true.
Enigma, oh wait.
Or you can be a fan of the team that's currently winning and be like everybody else on the internet. Easy.
Just imagine if FNATIC gets crossed out and then he writes OG on top of it instead.
That should actually be the sign if that happens.
That'll be fun.
Better bring that tomorrow.
I wonder if OG want to pick Terrorblade, because it's one of the best counters kinda against Razor, could be also good against Viper, but I'm not sure hero doesn't feel that good against, at least on Arlington Major, it didn't have a really good run.
Yeah, just today it lost twice in the final game of a series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit out of matter. The Enigma in the end also got addressed, the hero was not forgotten. So I think that could have been a spooky pick for FNATIC as well, but now the option's out. And now it's going to be interesting to see what they 15 if their Comfort Dark Willow is out. Hoodwink.
Hoodwink. Great hero. I think Hoodwink buff with this shard, this new shard.
Yeah, basically a shard that was a previous
a lot of damage. And that's something they needed with Nyx kinda, like having +5 which deals damage, very good. Like basically these two heroes can just kill almost anyone as well without having core.
Absolutely, and getting that boomerang at level 15 with the shard change makes a world of a difference. Like the extra magic damage coming out of it, the ability to clear waves, and of course the ability to pair up with some kind of initiator type mid laner to potentially just get any kill on any side lane.
I have a question because it is DJ that plays the Mixed Assassin, and it's DJ that plays the Hoodwink. Which one do we prefer to be? Either 5 or I guess either potentially 3 Mixed Assassin core is a bit eh?
It's still open depending on what they want to pick here. You can flex the Nyx to 5, you can also just play it 4, and the same goes for the Hoodwink, right? They still haven't revealed what this Razor is, so we don't know yet, but it's nice that the option is out there. The last time Fnatic played this Hoodwink, they did pick the Storm, and I honestly don't think Storm is a bad pick here for them either, right? It's an easy way to go on the Shaker, it's an easy way to punish this Viper, who's a slow-moving hero early on. Maybe that's something they're looking at.
Oh, there is that Terrorblade.
TV called it. You called it.
But you called it, but you didn't really like it.
You know, sometimes you have to pick a hero because you know that's the counter, but you don't really want to do it. I feel like it could be the thing.
Yeah, especially drafting the second stage, right? Always when you have the first pick, when you have to blind pick, it's not very easy always to find the heroes. But yeah, TV already has a purpose here, good against the Razor and arguably good against the Nyx as well. They're still thinking what to pair it up with, because now I think they have to reveal where the Viper goes, except if they pick a BZM hero that if he feels confident in, but then also FNATIC is the immediate answer. Shadow Demon for.
Now this hero got changed.
Yes.
We got the not dissimulate.
It's not Soul Catcher.
It's not Soul Catcher. It's
Disseminate.
Disseminate.
Would you like me to read the spell for anyone who may have not
Yes,
read the
please.
patch? So whenever the target takes damage, all enemies, including the target itself, if it is an enemy within 600 range, also receive 20, and it scales all the way to 35% of the damage. So it's a bit like a dispersion that you give away.
Alright, and we get the classic puck. So Armel played this puck in the first game already. He had a bit of a tough time against the DK, but still had a really, really good performance towards the end of the game. And arguably it's a very good puck game. So it's only really countered by the Shaker, if you even consider that a counter. Otherwise he has a pretty decent reign in this game so far. And he has 2 bans to go with it. We assume that BZM, and we for sure know that BZM 0 did not get picked yet, except if they go for crazy BZM Viper.
And now you have a hero to go on the Shadow Demon, right? That's typically how you play against these save type supports. And Fnatic have shown us with this Hoodwink that they do want to be able to quickly burst a target. And Shadow Demon kind of negates that, while also having really good synergy with the Terrorblade. So Puck makes a lot of sense for that, but I do think I like the Storm a little bit more, just based on how I've seen Fnatic play it.
I mean, Storm was also decent, especially against Terrorblade. But Fnatic, like, still, their draft is very solid. Standard, but solid. Like, it all depends on if they have a good hero pool on Palace, so he can add up with the last pick. I feel like if they find a good hero for Palace, it's very good draft already.
So there is a last pick for BZM. They have one more ban on Fnatic. There is the DK ban option, but OG did take that last time with the flexibility. And now I have kind of a feeling that BZM would tend towards another hero now that he knows his matchup for sure. Doesn't have to flex anything.
To be honest, I think it's still okay. They kind of need one more hero to jump stun or at least like play in front, because they have only Shaker as a stun right now. They kind of have like Terrorblade, who later on can be one of the front laners with SD behind, but they need someone to like run into to make the fight somewhat chaotic, or jump enemy like Hoodwink or Nyx if it's possible. So could be still DK.
Do you guys think that Fnatic could be looking at PL for overall loss?
Could be interesting pick, even into Shaker. Palace is a good PL player. It all depends on what OG pick. Maybe they consider it as an option.
There is DK, there is once again the Invoker with good setup on the side lanes. It just depends if he likes it against the puck. It's a different matchup. I think it's pickable. But yeah, the PL is definitely a good mention. I think the Shaker pos 5 it's also being played by Shuvash, I think, is not enough of a counter.
Tiny
still in the pool?
That hero on the pool. Yeah, the old school classic counter against puck actually.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I didn't think about it either. Completely forgot.
Like 1 week ago, you would always think about this tiny puck matchup. Right now, like
it's actually funny.
Both heroes are a bit lower.
I wonder if Fnatic forgot about it.
I really like Tiny Pick actually. I think it is even better than Kunkka Pick, which was banned by FNATIC. CK, like not PL, but somewhat illusion hero.
it's an old school hero against Viper, right? If I remember, it's like one of the heroes who can DC lane against him maybe, and is kill threat in the Viper lane, and it turned out to be an Amar Viper.
Yeah.
So it is CK Hoodwink in one lane against Viper SD or Viper Shaker, and Razor Nix on the other one. Well, CK Hoodwink is definitely a deadly name now, but I really love this timing against Brook.
But it's also quite a durable pick, right? This kind of reminds me of how Boom tend to last pick this CK, even if it's not an ideal game. It's usually just a fine game, but they like the durability of the hero, the ability to just leave it alone and allow the supports to roam very early on. So I think that CK can give them a lot in terms of map control for the first 15 minutes.
It sounds like a balanced draft, Matrim?
Yeah, sounds like a decent draft on both teams. But I do prefer OG draft a bit more actually this time, even though I'm not a big TB believer, but I think Tiny Buck is very decent for Tiny. And I think he can scale very well into this game, even though like right now you don't want to buy attack speed items, but still like decent against CK even later on.
All right, well, we're going to find out how this game will turn out. Only one team will make it out of this. Malaysia, make some noise for Cap and SVG!
I love being back in Southeast Asia, man. You guys are the best. It is 10 p.m. and it doesn't matter. I feel so full of energy because all of you guys out there are hyping up these matches. Let's get ready for a Game 3 between OG and FNATIC.
And it's absolutely going to go the distance, I think. You have two illusion carries. You know the map's going to get pushed out. You know they're going to look for the late game fights. Terrorblade, is there a more iconic late game hero? Well, we're about to find out. On the other side, DJ Nix. Perhaps the real carry of this FNATIC lineup when their back is absolutely against the brick wall that has been OG at these lower bracket runs in the majors.
That's right, there is a lot to learn from previous series here. As you said, they went back for the DJ Nix Assassin when it shined the most in that Game 3 against Entity. But also, in their Game 3 against OG at the ESL One Major, they also tried to pull out the Chaos Knight then and the Hoodwink then. It didn't work for them in that Game 3. But maybe this time around,
FNATIC know a thing or two about running the same thing back and
That's
making
true,
it work
that's
at this
true.
tournament. Maybe second time's the charm for this Chaos Knight. He has a pretty good game lined up. I mean, what is the AoE from OG? It's some late game Tiny and the Shaker. That's about it. He's gonna shred Viper. He's gonna shred Terrorblade. As long as he gets out of the lane, that is the big question for me here. OG might be able to crush the lanes. They have the Tiny Puck matchup. They have this Amar Viper, which has been shown to be absolutely destructive versus anybody on any hero.
yeah, that's the scary part for me. If you're looking at OG's lineup, once again, there's some player-hero combinations I'm kind of skittish about. I'm really afraid of that Amar Viper when it's paired up with the right kind of hero. They gave Chu the Earthshaker again. And Taiga, I mean, he's been really clutch in some of these crazy backline supports. Shadow Demon is right up his alley in that regard. Ooh. Nice little play there. OG do secure that second bounty rune.
Don't know if they should have, but they'll take it.
I was about to say.
Still a 2-2 split. I think the name of the game for FNATIC, get out of the lanes, make sure Viper doesn't chain kill your carry a bunch of times, make sure this Razor has a decent laning phase, doesn't get punished too hard, because Terrorblade will go jungle at some point.
Now, it's not like the Chaos Knight Hoodwink lane. It's not like they don't have any offense of their own. Do you think it's possible that they can actually get the kill on Amar?
It's always possible to kill this Viper hero early. They do have very high kill threat. If they get level 2 first, that's the name of the game. They will just go on this Viper and shred him.
Okay.
Chu with the early fissure blocks, trying to get equilibrium for him, and already
you can see
being put on everywhere.
Everybody's just going on each other. As Jabs takes a ton of damage off the disruption into the metamorphosis, and Jabs worked his wrong way around the trees. That's first blood.
Aggression does not pay off in this top lane meta. Securing first blood for a hero that uses it maybe better than any other carry in the game. Very fast start for Yuragi. And like you said, at the same time, they're not able to find the return kill on this Viper bottom because the lane is just so deep.
Yeah.
That's what the Shaker gives you. We're talking about getting level 2 first. If the lane's at their tower, it doesn't do much.
No, certainly not. Disruption trying to secure the last hit on the range creep. Taiga gets it. Well played.
Armel doing pretty decent mid on the early levels versus a hero with 20 extra base damage on him. 6-3. Another very solid early laning performance from Armel here. Has never failed to disappoint us this tournament for sure.
Yeah. Now we used to see this all the time. Chu. Is it Fisher? No, actually. Doesn't go for it. The, oh, nice bushwhack there. That's going to get a little
Got
extra
the acorn
damage.
bounce,
Palos
too.
wasn't level 2, though. If he was level 2, I feel like they could have gone on
here,
Amar, but...
here's the level 2, and now they don't have the spells, so
yeah.
a little awkward. This is where you want to go on the Viper. At least get the spells out of OG on this lane. If you wear this hero down, he can't play as aggressively. Even like we're seeing here, this is a pretty decent position for Fnatic. They have the Equilibrium. They have full resources on the Chaos Knight. Amar too scared to run up here. This is the position you want to put the Viper in. Jabs trying to push towards that level 3 Razor timing. He's got the Wraith Bands coming out. First blood, not ideal. You should still have decent lane control overall. Downtime on the meta just means Yuragi cannot fight him.
See Chu trying to do some lane pulling shenanigans, see if he can pull the creep wave back, but they do manage to make the creep wave meet in the middle of the jungle, which is kind of awkward. Amar, he knows he has to be a little bit careful of this kill combo. Mel and BZN continuing to go back and forth at it. Mel, as you said, doing very well against this Tiny. We used to see this Tiny as a matchup against Puck all the time. What changed?
I mean, just the toss nerfs, I guess, maybe make it harder to throw him back, which wasn't really a factor. I don't know. I think it's just Armel playing like a boss, and I don't think there's anything around it. I don't think this matchup's that easy for him early levels, and he has taken it to him. The DJ rotation.
Barely on point. DJ lands it, though. Gotta trust in the DJ impales, and FNATIC even up the score now. Jabs is actually gonna go for a straight TP out back to the tower. Just for fear of that, once again, the disruption into meta, being able to like get right next to the Razor with the Metamorphosis. It's kind of scary.
Waste that meta duration. He's pretty happy on this lane. That's a huge kill mid for Armel. This is not a matchup you expect to crush as Puck. Armel sets that kill up for DJ, calling him in, saying, hey, this Tiny is getting way too low. I'm owning him. Come and piggyback on my my back for the series and maybe some Armel carry action. Water Rune traded. Palos getting chunked bottom a little bit here. Starting to feel the pressure of this level 3 Viper.
I feel like you are naturally going to lose this lane as FNATIC if you cannot get the kill on the Viper. Right?
Yes, and they didn't get it early, which is pretty sad for them. Again, Chu doing a decent job preventing that with the Equilibrium, the fissure blocks. Not an easy kill to get. But now they're kind of stuck in this position where you have to battle up against this level 3 Viper with 2 poison attack. And it's very hard for CK to commit into this.
Yeah, just because he's constantly below half health. Anytime he approaches the creep wave, he takes a lot. Fissure block, really nice. Palos stuck against the trees. Samar can do on some damage. Taiga gets pretty low here. Looks like the disruption did bail him out.
Still feel like this is a pretty good scenario for Fnatic in the early game just because of how much mid is going in their favor. I mean, Armel has opened up almost a 600 gold lead against this Tiny. Absolutely ridiculous in this matchup.
Oh, nice use of the glyph there.
Beautiful.
PCM, he really wants to be able to secure the range creeps.
Might even be able to zone him off some of this. Another orb.
Yeah, that's what he's hoping for. Maybe just denies.
Man, Armel putting on a clinic in this mid lane. Fueled from that one-on-one. He's feeling himself.
Yeah, he certainly is. Already throwing around some of the voice lines. Bottom lane, though, they go for Palos. They do manage to hit a really nice 2-man bushwhack. That'll stall things a lot. And Palos, well, he's going to turn around, throw out the stun before retreating. Chu trying to catch up, hit an enchant totem, but he doesn't get it.
There's a rift.
They're going to pull back, but at the same time, if they go for that kill,
Is it enough? It is.
They get him. Bushwhack is going to be enough. Palos really nicely played. Pulls him back, but doesn't commit. And doesn't allow Amar to get the counter kill.
This is very good for Fnatic. The CK being able to stay down here, Amar not being able to convert on the kill. Even extra icing on the cake with that true death. Fnatic's got to be very happy about this laning phase right now. And they're a lineup that can use the advantage super well. Puck can make rotations. He can abuse the power runes. They have multiple heroes that can set stuff up between the Nyx, CK, and Hoodwink. OG might be getting pushed into a defensive footing very early.
Palos, loses sight for a second. Still goes for the kill though. Thanks to DJ being here. You can see Palos, look at him. He's not greedy at all. He doesn't go for the last hit on the kill or anything. He makes sure that he never puts himself in a position where Amar can commit for a kill.
Very smart. Also keeps his resources higher. Like, if he commits for some kill, spends all his HP, spends a bunch more mana, then he's just kind of sat on the lane. That's where Viper can abuse you. So I like the concept of how they're playing this lane, playing the early game. Early rotations for Nyx, it's going to pay him dividends in forms of the levels. He can leave jabs alone because Terrorblade naturally goes to the jungle.
Yeah.
It's all about mid lane now. Coil is up here. Don't know if they have the damage.
Yeah, probably not. BZM being level 6. He takes a lot less damage now to those right clicks.
I mean, he's also got raindrop full stick. This is a tanky tiny.
But yeah, I like what you were talking about with the Chaos Knight. Especially since this hero has like some self-sustain. It's kind of like a Bloodseeker, right? If you can get him low enough that he can't approach the creep wave, that he's not taking advantage of those Chaos Strike lifesteal advantage, you know?
Yeah, when this hero's full HP, he's very powerful. You can just sit there and lifesteal through the harass.
Yeah.
Like, Amar is not doing anything to him, and this is not the game flow that OG normally wants with this Viper plus melee hero lane. They wanted to destroy you. They wanted to create a pressure point. That's why they're bringing both supports here. He's just too tanky.
It really is.
They need more levels on this Viper, and they need him soon.
Yeah, meanwhile, Yuragi's actually being pushed out of lane. So if FNATIC can keep this, they're searching for the kill, but Yuragi does manage to dodge that orb placement. But if they can keep it like this, right, they'll be able to take that safe lane tower with the Chaos Knight still holding out.
Yeah, it could create a tower differential in this game. And big rune for BZM here. Double damage on the highest base damage mid in the game. Take that every day of the week.
Yeah, could be an opportunity if he hits. You know, avalanche onto Armel, follow up from the Fissure. They're going to do a lot of damage to him. Not quite enough to burst him, but Armel could still be caught. He gets the coil off, they lose sight. They can't quite get him. They were hoping for the disruption there and weren't able to get it. The bushwhack doesn't land. Taiga snaps the coil, trying to get away from that bushwhack, but it doesn't matter.
And they were stuck between disrupting him and trying to get the last tiny last hit in. That's going to be that DD rune down. I think Armel's happy to trade coil for getting that rune out of his bottle.
Yeah.
Now BZM running top, just trying to dissuade some aggression from the Razor that he thinks is coming. Perhaps trying to set up a kill with Meta, which is up here. Shaker TPing as well. Big committal from OG to defend the safe lane.
They're going to be able to catch him. Nyx Assassin is too far away to save him. Jabs will fall.
Solid kill, defending their tower, keeping Terrorblade in the lane.
Yep.
Ooh, almost got the block.
Close call. The puck did end up going back to the fountain. Palos
Phantasm
needs
two.
some help. He's going to turn around with the Phantasm coming back up.
Yeah,
He's
he
going to
can
go
turn
for it.
for
DJ
sure.
is going to show up. Hits. Oh, he doesn't hit. Misses, but he has the spike carapace. And once again, Palos just leaves it to the other heroes to get the kill. Protects his own life first and foremost.
Just a misread of Amar with that ultimate timing coming in for CK and the teleports that can come in. He's still trying to apply pressure, which is the correct move. You need to create the pressure point down here so FNATIC can't collapse on the other lanes. And OG, they're still trying to shut down this Razor. They don't want to let their Terrorblade lose more map control. FNATIC, at the same time, smoking back up here. 10-minute rune contest. They have the vision.
Oh no, he cut down the tree. The bushwhack doesn't land, and instead it's a 3-man Fissure. FNATIC, their entire gank crumbles over just one small move from BZM.
Race for the rune bottom. Probably will go to the tiny here. I don't see Armel committing. Not the most important rune, though. What a weird clash for them to have here. I don't think either team was really expecting the other to be there. Just a quick cut. Freeze him up. A lot of space.
And then this 3-man Fissure. Just beautiful stuff.
I will say Yuragi is having a great game on this Terrorblade. They committed a lot to give it to him. They went through his lane multiple times to defend this tower, keep him in the lane, give him the extra levels. But he has paid it back. That net worth shooting up over 1,200 over the CK.
Yeah, seriously, how is he so far ahead? I mean, he's gotten 2 kills, but still.
Man. He's just rocking it. He's going to hit a very nice timing that OG can fight around, trying perhaps even just aggressively force objectives with a single pick-off.
Does FNATIC have any Terrorblade answers?
Well, I mean, they have DJ Nyx. Seems like the answer to anything. Just hit 3 or 4 heroes with an impale. I'm sure you'll deal with it.
All right, but just straight up hero matchups.
I mean, Puck CK Hoodwink, it's a lot of stun, disable, and magic damage that can deal with this Terrorblade in the late game.
Okay.
Like, I don't think FNATIC's worried about just Terrorblade in the late game. The problem becomes, again, it's this OG Tricore, the tankiness, Shaker, and SD. Can you get on this backline? If you can't, these supports scale very well. It's almost like Terrorblade isn't going to be the biggest problem for FNATIC in the late game. I think they have the tools to deal with it. At the same time, does OG have the best heals for the Chaos lane, right? There's another illusion carry playing into somewhat limited AoE for big portions of this game. I could see Fnatic trying to just rush their CK timing ahead of the Terrorblades.
DJ walking through the sentry, but he'll walk out of it just as easily. Thanks to a quick reaction there from the Spike Carapace. So,
good info.
He absorbs at least some of the experience from that sack. Not a whole lot of it, though.
It's kind of a rush to the first set of items here. They want this Witchblade Puck. They want the BKB Razor. Fnatic's happy to farm up a little bit here, not just run into this OG squad who, you know, they're going to farm a little slower for now, not too much. But their next impact items aren't going to be as insane. Sure, you're getting some more damage on Viper, but the biggest one's probably this Tiny Blink.
Sure.
At the same time, BZM Tiny's, he's the poorest core in this game. He rushes Blink, Brown Boots. You blink and die once, suddenly this Tiny falls very far behind. Pushes more weight onto the Terrorblade to just carry this game. BZM is gonna have to hit his moves and hit them well.
See how he does it.
DJ, new Vendetta cooldown.
Yeah, are they gonna go for a TP play here? They're gonna try and defend the safe lane tower.
The sentry's running out.
The sentry is gonna be able to catch him. They get the chain stun, he's dead. BZM gets his first big opener, kills the Nyx assassin. The puck is here, but I don't think they can defend this anymore without their Nyx.
They really want to hold this tower. This is not an OG lineup you want to give it early objectives to, unless the Terrorblade commits. Purge mid.
Purge on Palos. He
Little
does have the
harass.
armlet, and Uragi's not going for it. You just kind of like push him out of the lane.
I mean, this move is almost just trying to force some info, free up the bottom tower push as well. Chu waiting in the back.
Okay.
Read this
He
John
dropped the
Sentry
sentry. He
vision.
knows Armel is here. Throws out the Fisher. BZM's going to be able to catch him with the combo, but Armel should be able to jump away here. BZM, he's going to go for it again. No, doesn't want to dive into a tier 2.
It's a tanky
combo
puck.
won't be up fast enough.
It's the benefit of going early treads, raindrop wand versus Tiny. Just tanking up versus the burst. Delays the Witchblade, but he's happy to live in these scenarios. Another double damage room for this Tiny.
Man, Fnatic feels like part of the reason they haven't been able to get more kills is just the fact that they haven't been able to secure power runes for a puck.
It's just so scary, the burst that can come out, the long range fissure. DJ is their best tool to find something on this map, and I mean, he's run into some sentries. Another one placed by Taiga.
Another ward sentry combo.
Yeah, they are reading his movements very well here. Shutting down the Nyx aggression. DJ hasn't found anything in what feels like 5 minutes. And now
OG trying to hold this ground, but the Impale's going to hit him first. No toss back. They will manage to slow down the Tiny even more, but it looks like DJ is going to be in trouble. The Spike Carapace toss him over to the Shadow Team. At the same time, Jabs couldn't get in at a good link. Amar's going to go for a 2-second stun, though. He's very tanky, but they are bringing him lower and lower. The plasma field isn't quite enough, and they can't commit into the Metamorphosis.
still have Coil up. Phantasm in 7.
Yeah, if they can maybe grab some heroes here with the Coil.
They also have that high ground ward, so Fnatic sees everything here.
They see the two supports in this position. They do manage to hit the bushwhack. But again, with that meta still up, very hard to fight into OG sitting on a high ground scenario.
Yeah, this Terrorblade is very strong in these engagements where Viper and Tiny can frontline for him. You're just not getting enough burst on the backside to deal with him.
Yeah.
Fnatic need their next round of items here. Again, BKB for Jabs. Super important so he can just run in frontline. It's pretty much going to be his job until CK is 3 or 4 slotted.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Armel just kind of keeping him busy up here in the top lane. But I do see kind of like a mess of Fnatic heroes kind of hanging out around the mid lane. They seem, the support's not really sure what they can do.
All right, Witchblade done for Puck. He got the power rune. I mean, it's another illusion. Not ideal, but he might be able to dodge some Tiny initiation. And BKB is coming out for Jabs here. He's going to have to go to base for it.
Oh, BCM would have been a really great catch in the river.
They're looking for Terrorblade.
He's already out. They're going to go up into the triangle.
Does have a
the
sentry.
Terrorblade. He's got a sentry in place, so he can see this.
I don't think he saw him. He just knows.
And he just completed the SNY too, so he's not the easiest kill to get. 1500 HP, can pop into strength treads as well.
Another missed smoke from FNATIC means more time for these Terrorblade illusions to go to work. Amar pushing towards his own BKB.
4-4, a very tense game 3 so far, 17 minutes in. Neither team able to make super aggressive moves confidently. It's been FNATIC looking for opportunities, especially with DJ with the Vendetta, but OG holding a very tight-knit circle around this Terrorblade at most times.
I would normally say this favors OG, just looking at, I would say their timing's a little later than FNATIC, so they're happy to farm up, but BZM is, I'm worried he's falling a little bit behind here. Again, he just rushed this blink. He wanted to be more active, get some stuff done. His supports are kind of slow, so maybe they didn't have the best tools to deal with it. He was just trying to slow the game down. But now you're in a situation where all 3 of FNATIC's cores are going to push out waves, farm up the map, and yeah, OG choosing to try and activate this Tiny and get something done here. Smoking to the triangle.
They're going to run into the next assassin, DJ. Oh, they're going to head back to mid. They're going to head back to mid. That's where the Razor is. Jabs has a BKB, so he's not the easiest kill, but they can chains on him and do a lot. He's going to pop the BKB. Purge slows him down, and the physical damage is enough. Palos is here with his fantastic disruption save. Is going to be able to buy a lot of time. The bushback immediately going off afterwards, though, and they've got the coil, too. 2 seconds done. Pull him back, snap the coil, snap his net. Palos, though, stuck behind the Fissure. The Venom doing a lot, and it does. He's trying to armlet toggle, but it wasn't quite good enough. He ends up falling as a result. Armel still in decent fighting shape, getting some damage out there with that Witchblade. Might still be able to hold this tower. OG aren't the healthiest.
They don't want to give it to Terrorblade. This is his meta committal. You give him the objective, OG feels amazing about this fight.
Impale lands.
A lot of poke damage.
Bushwhack follow-up, but at the same time, Chu stalled Armel. Made sure that the puck couldn't get his combo onto the Terrorblade. Also a defensive Sunder, making sure that Yuragi is still okay. FNATIC keep their mid tower alive.
And even now, they can just push it, right? No meta. There's no way OG's going to fight. This should be a mid tower for FNATIC if they want to commit the heroes, and all 5 coming in.
Chu doing a good job with the Fissure, killing the creep wave, so FNATIC is still stalled out for a few more seconds.
This is where Yuragi sends the illusions to the side lanes. Tiny pushes the other. OG just want to split FNATIC up again while this meta's down. It's pretty much the name of the game. Meta up, take the fight, meta down, run for your life.
They're going to try and sandwich in this BZM Tiny. DJ leading the way, but he doesn't quite see BZM. The plasma field doesn't spot him either. BZM doesn't have a TP out though.
He's just stuck here.
He's stuck here, but undetected. They're looking all over through these trees. They don't find it.
Ships in the night. Xeon will get to cut another wave probably. Oh, they scanned him.
Oh my goodness, the scan. He cut a creep wave. He blinks away. Is the TP up yet? 8 more seconds. Uh-oh. If DJ...
Surely he won't miss him a second
surely
time.
They catch him. Surely he's around here somewhere. He's got to be. No, they think he TP'd out by now, surely. And BZM... He's even sticking around. His TP is up, but he's saying, they haven't found me yet. They'll go for another creep wave. I'll do it again.
Yeah, he's going to go for another wave here.
BZM. He's going to pop out and kill this creep wave, and FNATIC know they've been duped.
That's the mental damage creep wave kill right there.
Oh, yeah.
Put the tip on top. So much time wasted for FNATIC on this top lane, which means meta back up. Absolutely no punishment for this cooldown on OG. Now all of a sudden, FNATIC looking down the barrel of an Eagle Song Terrorblade.
Yeah, I mean, this is
a lot
getting
of
a lot.
damage.
And again, OG may have found the opening on the jabs. This time he gets off the BKB at about half health. He's going to start draining away some damage to the Terrorblade. It's going to be a lot. Can they burst him down? No, he gets off the Sunder first. DJ hit by the Son of the Fissure. BZM, meanwhile, gets low, but a disruption might just be able to bail him out as the Chaos Knight gets instantly stunned. BZM jumping in for more. You absolute goddamn madman. BZM gets the extra kill off of a beautiful team fight for OG.
That is just an impossible fight to take there if Terrorblade just gets to stand his ground and hit them all. The Phantasm on this CK, not even up, just not getting to do anything with this hero with the armlet echo timing. OG completely shut that move down. Armel gets caught on by the avalanche on the backside. Just not enough firepower in the tank, especially if Razor's the one getting purged and gone on. This is the biggest reason why they picked this Shadow Demon. BKB Piercing Disable versus Razor, absolutely debilitating.
Yep, it was just like the Bloodseeker that we saw earlier against Amar's Razor.
And like we said, Palos just not ready to fight. He just does nothing.
I mean, he tried to go onto the Tiny, but the Tiny's natural armor from Grow allowed him to tank long enough that the disruption save came through from Taiga.
Now Yuragi is really far ahead.
Oh yeah, this is looking like a Terrorblade that can just carry through the game, and that Scotty timing. No Scotty actually. Butterfly into a Satanic is his next option.
I mean, this could be Butterfly into high ground. This is normally what you can do with this item in Aegis. You just start hitting, force this Fnatic to go on you. They don't have that toss back like they did last game. It's just going to have to be an all-in committal, which is where OG supports shine. You commit on this Terrorblade, suddenly SD has a free fight, Shaker has a free fight. Not to mention the toss back is on OG side this game. And another smoke up. Fnatic really need to be careful to not get caught here. They get caught around their towers. OG are absolutely going to shred them. You'd be looking at a very early high ground.
Jabs is a great pickoff for them. BKB TP out. He may not, like that Purge may be a really big problem for him offensively, but at least defensively he can still BKB TP all the time.
OG opting not to hit this tier 2 mid. Don't want to get stuck in some weird fight. I think they are strong enough, but I can't blame them to just control the map here. Smoke Fnatic out. Yuragi will continue to build his lead with the amount he can suck off the map with illusions. He has an illusion cutting bottom wave. He has an illusion going mid. He's farming all 3 lanes here.
Now the Chaos Knight Hoodwink, they're playing up here in this jungle area, and they have a lane ward as well. So if there is an opportunity, they might be able to find a kill. The two of them do a lot of damage. BZM trying to catch him, but Armel is away. They're showing these heroes meeting. There it is. That's what I was talking about. They've got that ward. They set a trap up. They get a pick off on a Shadow Demon.
Good find. Good way to stall this game out.
Yep. And they have the positioning then to immediately cut the creep wave as well. It just keeps OG looking. The split push pressure is going to continue.
Yep, Fnatic have the read. There's no reason to fight this when you have the split push pressure. That's another reason why I thought OG might just try and force some of this tier 2 or force an early high ground here to bring Fnatic back. Otherwise, you kind of just get traded on the map. It's too hard to catch people in the current state of the game. They're too slippery, especially this Puck, especially this Hoodwink who can play around the trees.
Oh, CJ. That is a sentry that's going to get him caught. He's right inside of it. And BZM took full advantage of that one.
All right, here's OG trying to smoke these heroes out. They're done getting messed around with. Yuragi. That's an enemy hero.
Yeah, spots the Hoodwink. Shadow Demon, if he could get close enough, maybe they could get the kill. Chu trying to get in position for a Fisher, but looks like the Hoodwink's away. And you can see, very importantly, Palos is still out on the map. He does have the Phantasm. He's been spotted. He's going to pop the Phantasm, throw the illusions out, see if he can go for a TP away, but he can't. Taiga catches him with the disruption. Palos is finally going to pay the price. He tried to stay out there, but Taiga finally spots him, gets him killed, and now maybe OG can start getting the map in, getting these tier 2s out of here.
I'm telling you, tier 2 in the high ground, it could be on the menu soon. They now have a blink on Shaker, so the pickoff is getting a lot more deadly here. The amount of gold these OG supports have sucked off the map.
Goodbye. Armel.
You don't want anything of that.
Yeah.
The more these tier 2s that fall, it also frees up the pressure for these Terrorblade illusions. There's not a lot that deals with them outside of Puck.
Yeah.
Like, these things are absolutely deadly. They're going to clear every wave. They're going to start pressuring your towers. Razor doesn't want to sit here and hit him. He's linking him, sure. Just takes so much time and gives OG so much information.
You don't want to have, you don't have one of those like hexing supports or something that instantly kills illusions.
Time to build some Dagons, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, might be. Palos in some trouble. He's got the BKB. He's going to prevent the toss, but he's still taking so much physical damage. Again, the Purge plus the Metamorphosis allows Yuragi just to run down heroes. Looks like they almost got Chu, but Chu is going to turn around, hit the stun onto our Hoodwink, who looks to run away from BZM, but can't make it. The little squirrel flies high and falls hard. 2 down on the side of Fnatic, and a second tier 2 on the mid. Oh, what a Fisher Echo! Hello, that's a third hero. That's a tier 2. That is what you were talking about. The potential of getting kills around towers could lead to an early high ground.
Meta, they're lucky Meta's running out here. It might not matter. Satanic done for this Terrorblade. He's an absolute unstoppable force right now. OG feeling themselves.
He just chucked you in.
Why not?
He's feeling himself. He's having some fun here. The backdoor protection's about to go down. They're going to have to fight this without a puck.
There is no fighting this. This
Yeah,
Terrorblade
too
is
tough.
way too big.
Oh, almost got the bushwhack. BTM blinks first. Melee barracks low enough. OG, they want to commit to this and we want to finish this off.
I mean, hell, they can just send illusions in. You have Disruption, you have Terrorblade. Again, gonna respect FNATIC here.
Yeah, they say the glyph is good enough. We got a lot of resources out of them.
No reason to take some high ground fight if you don't have to, I guess. And
what a timing on that Fisher.
Yeah, absolutely read it perfectly. I mean, just taking the free chance that maybe he jaunts in, right?
Yeah,
never know.
absolutely. I mean, he wants to kill that creep wave and stall out this pushing, so Chu, just a smart read, and Palos, oh no, already down to half health as Amar's gonna turn around, throw out the Viper Strike onto Jazz. Palos goes for the TP away, and thanks to the impale, he'll make it out. DJ saves the day for Palos, but can anybody else escape? Looks like Armel will be okay. Jumped over the orb, maybe he's not okay. He has to throw off the coil, but the Fisher caught him already. He's got an orb, he's got to blink up, he's gonna be able to blink straight away. Yes, he is. He was facing the right direction. Jumps over to his orb now. He's still not making it far enough. They know he's on the high ground. Another phase shift and another orb. It's coming up soon. Orb side. Jump to it. Hits the impale. Chu is there. The blink is coming up in a second. Armel is out.
And Chu has his number today, man.
He really does.
Every single spell, every single hit. No freedom for Armel in these fights.
Oh, they want the toss back. Palos, they know he doesn't have his BKB. If they could have got him out of position with the toss, he would have been 100% dead. Instead, they'll just get the melee barracks. Good enough for OG.
And I am surprised by the amount of discipline OG has. Their Terrorblade is so strong. It feels like he's invincible. Just respecting the spell damage and perhaps buybacks that can come out from FNATIC in a high ground situation.
Is there any chance they're playing this too slow? Is there any items that are coming in for FNATIC that could change the nature of these fights?
I mean, probably not. That's probably why they feel it doesn't really matter. Like, you're scaling your Viper, you're scaling your Tiny, he has Ags on the menu. Your supports are no slouches as well. Taiga almost up to it. Ags on top of 8th or Blink. Chu has been destroying Armel in these fights. I don't think they're in a rush.
So it just comes down to FNATIC. If they won back in this game, it's going to be through execution. The toss back, no. BKB denies it. Andy managed to get the bushwhack onto the Tiny. Pulling back in, underneath the tier 3. They're going for the Shadow Demon, and they get him too. Armel and DJ, assassins of the back line. Kill him. Chu, Echo Slam straight up onto Armel. At the same time, Chaos Knight tried to challenge that Terrorblade. Not a chance in hell.
Armel gets brought down by BZM on the back. The stun's too much for this puck. The tips between OG pushing them to potentially another top 3 at an LAN event.
Creaming through a second lane of barracks. They jump forward, catch Jazz as well, toss him back into the Terrorblade. He gets up 3 man's done. DJ, you've done what you can, but there's nobody else to help you out here.
At least he can maybe go out in style.
Running, but will be denied. Toss back to his death. No tier 2 at the top lane. OG can go for the full sweep for Megas.
Too much farm, too much net worth, not enough gas in the tank for FNATIC. I have not felt this CK's impact at all in this game. He just had a decent lane phase, but the fights were just desynchronized. Didn't get to use his Phantasm armlet timing. Didn't feel like he got to use this BKB at all.
Again, these two matched up against each other at the major. In an elimination series, they went to game 3, and in that game 3, FNATIC put trust in the Raven Chaos Knight. Once again, they turn to the Chaos Knight, and once again, it does not seem to be the answer against this OG squad.
I don't know if there is an answer against this Terrorblade. He's 5 slotted at 30 minutes, borderline 800 GPM. Absolute perfect game from Yuragi. He's about to push him to the next series here.
Cutting the creep wave where they can, anything to stop OG, but oh, the blink forward into Fisher, instantly BZM pounces, catches the puck. A buyback immediately goes out. Jabs, he's committed to the BKB, and he's trying to drain away the damage from this terror play. A little help out from DJ, but it looks like he's eventually going to go down. Did what he could, but the rest of the team has to clean it up, and there's just no chance. This Terrorblade is an absolute monster. 2 is a monster. A 4-person stun. 3-second Chaos Bolt out from Palos, but there's nothing to follow it up with. Armel, he jumps back in, trying to go for it, but an Echo Slam from 2. Are you looking for me? Nah, son. I'm going to take you down myself. Chew the coach, with his own bare hands, brings down the Kingslayer and knocks FNATIC out of ESL One.
Mobility for what? I'm just gonna stun lock you into oblivion. You think you're gonna stun me? Hell no, son. I am the ultimate god of the Fissure Realm. Shoo, he looks a little gassed after that one. I don't blame him putting the team on his back.
He really
what
did.
What a performance, man. These guys, every time you think they're looking a little shaky, they lose game 1, maybe they're gonna crumble. No. They just tighten up, put it together. Every game, it feels like a different member of this team carries them through. Absolute clinical performance from this Yuragi Terrorblade. Amazing team fights from the OG supports. You definitely felt their impact this game. The amount of net worth they're bringing, the amount that they're closing out the map versus this FNATIC rat that just never got anything going. Chaos Knight couldn't find his timings with Phantasm Armlet. Jabs getting shredded by this Shadow Demon pick plus the Terrorblade damage.
Through and through, an absolute dominant victory in this game 3 for OG, proving that they are once again well deserving of top 3 finish. And who knows how much farther they can go. I mean, we were talking backstage, in fact, we were talking in our AMA with some of the fans, and somebody asked, can any of these teams, who is the best bet to be able to bring down Aster? And you said it's this squad right here. If they can make it through the lower bracket, you think they have the best chance of being able to bring down Aster.
Look, man, at this point in my career, I'm going to assume OG is going to win every tournament because somehow they are always underdogs. Somehow people always underestimate them, and they continue to show up, improve, stand-in or no stand-in. They're going to destroy you, and they're a force. Yeah. You can ban their heroes. You can do whatever. At some point, this team comes together. They jam their strength down your throat. What are you going to do about it? I think Secret, they're going to have a tough match in this team. They have a lot of momentum. They have some crowd favoritism.
Oh yeah, the crowd definitely loves to be able to see OG, and they're going to see him again in the final day. But here we are going to say goodbye to FNATIC. I mean, they had a great run through this lower bracket. Managed to pretty admirably, given the circumstances, pull through, but it seems like OG was too much for them at the end.
All the props to FNATIC. Very good run from them. DJ, perhaps the crowd favorite in this arena.
All right, I see him on stage. Slacks is ready to go with the interview. Take it away.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I have the conductor of OG here, the brains of the bunch, the choo-choo! It's Joe! How you doing?
Great.
Great. All right, long day today, man. It might be an even longer day tomorrow. Woo! Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling ready? How are you guys gonna rest and get ready for the grand finals potentially tomorrow?
I think I'm just gonna go fall asleep for 10 hours.
10 hours? All right, fantastic. Can you sleep with all this hype from the crowd? Are you serious?
You cannot make me.
All right, let's ask a real question. What is the percentage that you think that you're gonna win when you get that Earthshaker? As soon as you get Earthshaker, is that bumping up 50%, 80%? How do you feel?
It's like budget SEP, you know?
No.
Same as Windranger.
The same? What? Come on, man. You're so good at it. Give me some sort of percentage.
70.
Okay, fantastic. All right, fantastic. And final thing, can I ask you what it is like to play in front of this crowd? They have adopted you, you know, they've made you yours. Any words out here to all the fans who have been watching you all day and been screaming your name?
Amazing.
Amazing! All right. Well, thank you so much, man. It was fantastic to see you. We're so excited to see you again. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Choo-Choo, the train! All right, and we'll throw it back to the panel.
All right, it is OG that makes it to the final day of ESL One Malaysia, Javaj on stage with the winner's interview. He is filling the shoes of Misha, of Seb, of the fifth man as a coach, and he did phenomenal on his Earthshaker, so we have to choose him for the MVP. Well-deserved performance. Metrib, as also a coach, fellow coach, how do you feel about his performance today?
He did very well. I mean, let's compare him and Seb in terms of playing on the stage. Seb played a lot of tournaments. He won 2 TIs, and he plays a lot of pubs as well. So it's much easier for Seb to actually stand in for the tournament, especially for the stage game. And I think Chu actually did very well in this third game, elimination game. Like, it's a very important game, and he managed to do so much in this game. This sick package on the mid, for example, like he actually did very well.
Yeah, he did great. The whole team, of course, rallied around it. This was a game that started off once again somewhat even Stormer, but it got out of hand. I feel like faster than the previous 2 games we saw.
Yeah, I mean, for some time in the game felt relatively even. You couldn't really tell who is ahead. Like, BZM and the BZM Armel matchup on mid was really interesting. Armel did an insanely amazing job with the Pug vs Tiny matchup. But then, really, like after like one team fight on the mid tier 1, where they almost team wiped full Fnatic, all of a sudden it felt like it really got out of hand too quick. Yuragi all the time. I mean, if I would have to choose an MVP after 2, it would also be Yuragi. Yeah. He was top of the net worth all the time. He did an excellent laning station, just kept it up, and I don't think there was a single big mistake from him. So. Yeah, after like one dominant team fight, they just kept rolling it over. It's really nice to see this OG squad. You know, game 2, BZM pops off an Invoker, carries the team on his shoulders. Now game 3, you see all of a sudden both Yuragi and Chu doing like similar things. It's like this team, classic OG.
What stood out to you, Effie, when you were watching this one?
I mean, that game was clinical, honestly. From the draft to the gameplay, it felt like they established their lead, they solidified it, and they didn't give anything away. So shout out to them. But also, of course, FNATIC, they really came into their own in the last few days. Maybe the new patch threw off some of the more favored to-win teams, but it seems like they really found their own and they found a drafting style that they like. And I honestly think they also deserve an honorable mention here, and they made it really far.
Absolutely.
Especially Armel, like winning this meet in a tough matchup. Insanely good job.
Insanely good job indeed, especially considering, and we mentioned it before, OG is used to playing with the stand-in, which kind of changes the dynamic a little bit, of course. FNATIC, they're not used to, well, okay, we